this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Several transgender rights bills are making their way through the Colorado legislature. One has been passed by a House committee. It addresses how schools should treat students who want to go by a different name than the one on their birth certificate. Opponents, like Republican Representative Don Wilson, tells Fox 31 he has concerns about the proposal.
It still seems to me that it leaves out how the parents are involved and what is able to happen on the local level as far as addressing any issues that may be.
The bill passed the House Education Committee last night on a party line vote. Relief is coming for Coloradans struggling to stay in their homes. The state's temporary rental assistance grant is making $30 million available for people who have fallen behind on payments and are at risk of being evicted. Those who need help can fill out a pre-application form until Tuesday at 5 p.m. The highest priority will be given to those who have an eviction court date. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
New slowdowns west of downtown, 6th Avenue westbound approaching Sheridan Boulevard. A crash in the right lane has stop-and-go traffic back from I-25. Heading further out west into the high country, I-70 westbound, slow driving through Floyd Hill and approaching Idaho Springs. We're seeing stop-and-go traffic. Back to town, I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds, and I-70 eastbound, it's easy driving to DIA. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. We woke up to some wintry weather this morning. Scattered snow showers later in the afternoon into the evening. High 39 degrees. Overnight low of 18, nice and cold. The current temperature in Denver is 29 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Why are people saying Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Enjoy beautiful new countertops, granite, quartz, other natural stone, or solid surfaces. Call the Art of Granite first for wholesale pricing on all materials. They only charge for fabrication and installation. Get prices on the phone. With the Art of Granite, you can have beautiful new countertops in just 2 weeks. Plus, when you do the kitchen, the bath vanity is free. Tear out and hallway is also free. TheArtofGranite.com. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com. Looking for an honest and experienced auto repair and maintenance facility? I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino recommending RKC Automotive on Evans, just west of Tejon. Excellent service at fair prices. Plus, you don't leave without a courtesy inspection of the entire car with every visit. Not just fixing a problem, but making customers for life. RKC Automotive, 720-749-3965. 2120 West Evans. RKC Automotive.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real.
That's my opinion.
Well, I do agree with him on that one.
It's good to start out the day with an agreement. Yeah.
Ooh, I guess I need...
So did you ever buy any of that super microcomputer nonsense?
Ripped off.
I did buy some weird stuff.
You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna
Please keep it
help.
down, men at work.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. So, tell me this. What is on your mind and how can we help you? I love asking that question. You know, if people call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, you can get in on the show at any time. What you do is leave a message. Leave us your number. Now, when we're here, it'll ring right through. 303-MARTINO. Also, if you'd like to get help right now and you're listening to the show, you can also call 303-7 713-TALK, 713-8255. You know, I've been doing this particular Friday edition of the show for the 45 years I've been on the air, and
I disagree.
And no, what, did we start it?
You did Computer Friday for probably 1 year in around 94 or 95.
You're right. I did do Computer Friday. And then, by the way, the car day, there's not one person after all this time that ever says it right. They call it Car Friday. It's not. It's Car Day. It's on Friday. I've never called it Car Friday in my life, but everyone else does. Everyone does, including you, right, Kev?
No, I thought it was Car Friday.
And, okay, you're no longer allowed to call
I agree with Kevin. It's Car Friday.
So should we change it?
Hey, Doc, should it be Car Friday?
Yeah, like he's the arbiter.
Car Friday.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, so it'll be Car Friday. Stephanie always says Car Friday, and I say it's Car Day.
Well, then there's your defining answer.
All right, so now it'll be Car Friday from here on out. And I'm going to also take your calls on Car Friday about anything, so it doesn't just have to be cars.
You know, one of my favorite days of the week has become Manic Monday because it seems like all the crazies crawl out Mondays.
Do you think so?
Oh, man, it's nuts.
Are Mondays the day?
Wasn't
also,
Monday the lady said
do you think
that
full
even
moon?
though...
Do full moons really have an effect on people? Do you think?
I think so.
No, that's crazy.
Why? Why do you say that?
We
Doc?
very seldom get.
Do they have an effect on the tide?
We very seldom get full out.
Do they have an
calls.
effect on the tide?
The moon is still there, whether or not
Now
you
listen,
see it.
Mark, we got a problem here with Paul I want to take up. We took it yesterday. This is an age-old problem. We have tackled similar problems like this before, and you'll know it when you hear it, that we've handled the situation before. I'm not talking about this particular person. Hey, Paul, welcome to the show. Now, Paul called yesterday and said his friend had a insurance claim with Farmers, Mark. So he recommended Matt at Paragon Services. Good recommendation. Matt's a great guy. And Matt will tell you if he can help you or not. Apparently, Matt got involved, and they sent a settlement check. Farmers did. But they sent it to Matt, right, Paul?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
And that's normal when you're working with representation, which is a public adjuster, right? So then Matt turned around and mailed it to the consumers.
Yes.
Somebody cashed it, right?
Somebody intercepted it and cashed it.
When you say this is the part, intercepted it. Now, the question is, and we've gotten this before, not with Matt, never before with Matt. We've gotten this before with business after business after business. Once that check is sent out, whether it's a refund, reimbursement, damages, settlement, whatever, once the check is sent out, if someone intercepts it and the consumer doesn't get it, who's responsible? Now, the friends say, Matt never got it to us. Matt says, I answered it. That's the question.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask this.
Here's did the bank screw up letting someone cash it?
I'm going to make a declaration here. That's a good point, too, Mark. A very good point. Who was it made out to? Do we know, Paul?
I don't know. I
Probably Matt.
We need to.
The only reason I believe I'm correct in this is because I've dealt with Matt numerous times. Matt's name on it, or whoever the public adjuster, the mortgage company, if you have one, then the homeowner.
So would Matt have endorsed it and sent it on?
It could be.
That's how Matt does it.
Let's get Matt on the phone. But here's the point. Here's the point, Paul. I'm just going to say it like it is. If Matt or his people cashed it, he's responsible for fraud, which didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not accusing Matt.
No, I know you're not. I know. We're talking about hypotheticals.
Okay.
If he cashed it or one of his people, and then he's responsible. If it was stolen out of the mail, you got two people responsible. The person who stole it and the bank for cashing it. Okay? Now, banks don't get a free ride for cashing stuff. That's wrong. They don't get a free ride. The other thing is this. Obviously, if the homeowners did nothing, they're not responsible for anything. You're certainly not responsible for recommending Matt.
Right.
But I will say this. If the homeowners feel that Matt is responsible no matter what, well, he's not, unless he was in on it. So how do they feel?
They're just putting heat on me, saying that, well, you got this guy involved.
Okay, so what did this guy do wrong? Here's what I want to know. Did the guy do something wrong? If he did, then he should pay up.
Yeah.
But did he? That's the point. Did he do wrong?
No, Matt, last I talked to Matt was about a week and a half ago, and he said he was going to call his attorney, and I haven't been able to get through to Matt since then, so I don't know where we're at.
Well, there's no need to call an attorney. I don't see what Matt. I mean, Matt. I mean, I'd like to talk to Matt.
I would assume not the caller, but the homeowner, or whoever, maybe threatened legal action against him, so he turned it
Now,
over.
if
But
Matt
I have no
lied
idea.
and did not mail it out, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking in generalities here. If he did something wrong, I am positive he didn't. So if someone sent out a check, okay, Kevin, let's say you did a repair and the consumer paid you. And then the warranty company came through and sent you a check. You would send it to the consumer. Let's say you popped it in the mail. Let's say somebody stole it. Are you responsible? Of course you're not.
No, once it's in the mail, no.
I mean, this is a messy situation. Now, certainly...
Well, we got to know who the hell cashed it. How come that's just not coming up?
Well, first of all, how did they cash it? That's what I want to know. It has to be in somebody's account. There's fraud going on.
On the back of that check, the information we need is somewhere. How come we don't have
no,
it?
they obviously put this guy, they might have put this guy's name on it, not their own name, but where did the money go? Was it cash for cash? Was it cash for credit? I mean, without any information, Paul, we can't help. Did it go into an account? If so, whose account? There's the guilty person. Follow the money.
And I think it's State Farm, not Farmers. I never saw any checks from them. I did get paid for part of my work from the homeowner.
Here's what I want to ask. Where did it go? They
did an investigation, supposedly, and that's when they called the homeowner, who I talked to about 2.5 weeks ago, and they said that they're not responsible for any further payment.
State Farm is not responsible. I'm not asking that. I'm asking where the money went.
I have no idea.
Well, then we can't help
How
you.
much was it? How big?
If it went into Matt's account,
$29,000. It was $29,000.
okay. Now the police should want to look into this. It's a crime, or the DA. Okay. So if I can talk to your homeowners, until then, I can't do anything.
Hey, Tom,
I need to.
did State Farm get the canceled check back?
Yeah, that's how they know it was cash.
Well, then they should be able to figure out who cashed it.
But no one's doing it. And again, Paul doesn't know, and they don't know if it did. First of all, did someone actually get $29,000 in checks, in cash, greenbacks? I doubt it. So how was the transaction done? That is where it takes an investigation. They can even hire a private investigator, but this is a crime. It is a crime. We don't know where Matt is. He's not around. But what do you do in a case like this? You follow the money. State Farm, or did he say it was State Farm, right? Yeah. They should be willing to investigate this. Okay? They should be willing to. If State Farm doesn't why wouldn't they investigate it to see where the money went? The bank should also be willing to investigate it. Mm-hmm. And maybe they need to hire an attorney to get after them to do it. But this happens all the time. Whose fault is it? It's the person who took it. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's the person who took it.
I'll be curious how the mortgage. I'll be curious how the mortgage company.
That's why I want to ask. I want to ask Matt. Was the check made out to 3 people? Was it made out to the mortgage company? Was it made out to Matt and to these people? Who signed for the mortgage company? There was massive fraud. The district attorney should want to get involved. It's $29,000. I mean, they should want to get involved. Now, it's probably not as serious as a crime as Trump does. It's probably not as serious of a crime of feeding homeless people and being told by the city you're violating health codes. It's not probably as serious as that when it comes to the city and the county and the states in Colorado, the sewer of the country. But it is a crime. And I think we are still investigating crime. I might be wrong here. I might be wrong. Now, George needs some advice on HVAC. We'll do that coming up. I'm Tom Martino. WaterPros.net will get you the best water systems at the lowest prices. And there's just no doubt you'll never do better. 303-862-5554. I went through, where was I? I was at a store, and I saw this display for a water softener, 15 grand. Doesn't even soften water, 15 grand. That's like 3 times the cost or 4 times the cost. Unbelievable. And by the way, there's financing available too. 303-862-5554.
It's the compounding interest.
What?
Michael Brown was talking about compounding.
Tommy doesn't eat as much peanut butter as he used to.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? We were discussing that. He used to have a fucking can of peanut butter the size of your head. And he'd reach in there with this big, nasty fucking spoon.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
And just eat that shit.
Tablespoon, but yeah, I don't eat that much.
Why? What happened?
Oh, I love it. I just don't eat that much.
You didn't find out it was bad for you or something like that?
No, I just don't. I don't know. In general.
Was it your cholesterol? Be honest.
No, peanut butter doesn't hurt that.
Was it the nuts?
No, I still have some at home. I just don't keep it out.
Let me ask you this. Was it problems holding the spoon?
Well, if it was as big as
Yeah, he used to go. But I
do that.
He could eat.
It is if you just.
He
want
could eat
snack,
a jar of it.
Well, you can't eat the whole jar, but just a scoop and just kind of it fills you up.
It's power food.
Well, almond butter.
I'm gonna try
I
him.
love almond butter.
I do too.
Cashew butter.
Yep.
I'm a fan of all of them.
Costco has good prices on the almond butter.
I would just say if it was as big as Kevin's head, that was a big jar of peanut butter.
Well, they do those ones at Costco. You get them the 2-pack for the
Hell yeah.
Skippy. They are that big.
Yeah, I wonder who was on that check. So we just got one. I don't even have a mortgage. Well, I guess technically I do because it's a line of credit. But we don't owe them a nickel, and I still got to have them sign it.
Really?
Speaking of which, should we ever send it to them, or we didn't fuck with it yet?
No, you told me to hold off.
Yeah.
I haven't done jack with it. It's all funky.
I got in the gym one of my first houses because the mortgage company changed about 9 times, like in a year. It seemed like.
I've seen that shit happen.
And then the check is coming back, made out to the first mortgage company, and they're out of business. They were bought 2 years ago, and
Just a total fuck up.
oh,
Yeah.
so I had to do something I wouldn't admit to under oath. But yeah,
Oh.
but I didn't know what else to do.
Fucking Putin off that dude.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck yeah.
Biggest enemy.
But why do people even come out publicly against him? They know he's going to do it.
What?
They know he's going to kill him. Why would you live there and talk trash to him?
Oh, you mean Putin's enemy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy. Well, he's been in this prison, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been tortured. It's a penal colony. It's not just a prison.
Hey, man, just because it's in the Antarctic.
Yeah. They have nice weather sometimes.
What do they call the place?
A gulag, you mean?
No, but what's the actual name of it? Do you guys remember? Shut up. Shut up. My texting's perfect.
Of course. You probably have perfect diction on your texting also.
I do. I have a feeling the bank's going to be the one holding the bag. If that mortgage company was on there and they're saying they didn't sign it and that check got cashed.
That's hard to cash a $29,000 check, though.
Yeah, you're not going to a check casher or King Supers or Walmart. No. This thing's getting cashed at a bank. Matt's in with a lawyer right now. As soon as he gets out, he's calling me.
Is he in about this?
No.
Okay.
Just negotiations.
Does Bob want? I heard Bob wanted to go on the air, and I said, "Well, the original problem never went on the air." Bob, he said he finished that job, and he said that the mother-in-law got involved and didn't know what the hell she's talking about.
Who are you talking about?
Bob Elian.
Oh, is he on?
He called in,
Oh.
and he said,
Well, I sent him like 2 or 3 in a 2 weeks period. So I don't know which one is fucking which. But I haven't heard back from anybody, so I'm assuming he reached out. But he does not communicate with me at all.
his wife started communicating with me. So
I think he got pissed when I said we weren't going to give away a vicious fucking dog to the first person to raise their hand.
why, he wanted to give away a dog?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
Remember that? The puppies they were trying to give
Pit
away?
bulls?
No, they were Akitas.
Worse, Akitas.
Hey, listen, here's the deal.
They're good family dogs, but there's only one family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kids.
No friends coming over.
I have no idea.
That's the
about
only
them.
dog that
I
ever
have no-
scared me in my life.
I have no idea about them. None. I don't
Well, we
know.
had a dog expert on.
We had like 10 people call saying, "I can't believe you guys would give those away, and they're dangerous."
We finally decided.
Did
it
anyone
wasn't worth
hear the
lawsuit.
Putin interview with Tucker?
I did not.
Yeah, it went like this: "Shut the fuck up! I'm going to kill you." And then the interview ended. Oh, Tucker! I thought you meant this guy that just got killed.
Well, oh.
He just.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Today is Car Day, Car Friday, and if you have a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Paul, hold on. I want to hear about that check fraud. George, you need advice on HVAC. What's going on, George?
Good morning. Yeah, I have a Lennox heater, and the blower motor just went out, and it's I got one quote for $1,600 to replace it.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, sometimes these prices, listen, but everything.
I don't know if that's ridiculous.
No, I'm not saying ridiculous like bad or illegal. I'm just saying prices in general have gone out the roof. And there is no bargain to fix things, but the motor was $1,600. Did you get any more bids?
Well, I've called. I think it's Elite, and they're going to give me one.
Who's Elite?
I thought it was Elite. It's on your.
Okay, Elite. Okay, I'm sorry.
Elite Mechanical.
Right, Elite Mechanical.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, did you call any of the other guys? Plumline, Fix It, 888 Heating, any of those?
No, Plumline was my next one. You know, when they said $1,600, I remember listening to your show, and you can get both AC and heater for just over $2,000, I think.
Wait, what are you talking about? A system?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If
heard.
you can find a furnace and AC system for just over $2,000, I want you to tell me who it is, and then we're going to go find where he's stealing the stuff first.
Okay.
And then we're going to put him on the
right.
referral list if he's not stealing.
Okay,
No.
so I must have heard it wrong because I thought I heard.
You know,
it there, but,
listen, I would love to believe. See, this is what we get. We get all the time people complaining about prices. We do. But not just from one company, from everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone is complaining about prices in HVAC. Everyone. Okay? When I say they make a great value, good deals, blah, 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 it's not cheap. Nothing's cheap, ever cheap, nothing. Now, the only person we found to beat the system, to literally beat the system, and we don't know how he's doing it, is Euro Plumbing for water heaters. You know, he's doing water heaters for $13.99 for 40 gallons fully installed, $14.99 for 50 gallons. I don't know how he's doing it. In fact, other plumbers don't know how he's doing it. And then we have Paul the Waterman. He's beating the system when it comes to water filtration, all that. I think it's because they're small enough, they can still do it. They don't have the giant overhead, but you're not going to find cheap. Now, you're doing a wise thing by shopping around. And of course, there are people that would just buy the part online and have somebody else install it. There are people that do things like that. I'm not totally opposed to that.
Okay.
You know, they're not difficult, and I'm not telling you to do it. They're not difficult to do.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm going to. I will wait for Euro, and I'll also call Plumline.
well, not
and
Euro.
we'll go
You
from
didn't
there.
call Euro. I don't think Euro does HVAC.
Or
They're
Elite.
just plumbing. Yeah.
Elite. I'm sorry. Elite.
Yeah. Would you call us back? Let us know what you end up doing.
Hey,
Yeah. I'd like
888.
Yeah, that's what I said. Call 888 Heating, see what they can do. But again, you're not going to find. I don't think you're going to find cheap in today's world. It just doesn't happen. Okay, I'm going to be straight with people. Nothing's cheap, nothing, and be suspect if it's too cheap. Yeah. Now, Paul's got a comment on check fraud. Now, Paul, is this about what we were talking about, mailing a check and all that, or is it something that came up with you?
It's what you were talking about.
And okay, and you're not the one involved, right? Because it was also a Paul. Okay,
Correct.
Go ahead.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, this is very straightforward. In writing, the individual impacted has to write, let's say, an email or certified mail, whatever, to the individuals, and I only caught the end, whoever sent the check, whoever wrote the check was responsible for paying them. Okay.
Well, okay. State Farm wrote the check, and then sent it to the public adjuster.
That's fine, but it's State Farm that is responsible. It's their money, responsible for proving that they.
That they paid the person.
Check.
I see what you're saying.
Yes. Now that check and both sides of the check. And it'll say the routing, the bank, and the account that it was cashed into. Once he gets both sides of the cashed check, which he has to ask specifically in writing, none of this nonsense over the phone, then he goes to the bank. If his signature is not on it, then he has to go to the bank that cashed the check and communicate with them again in writing. We provide that proof and say, this isn't me. Because banks are, as you know, banks are notorious. They don't check signatures if it's deposited, with take a photograph and deposit. They don't.
$29,000.
They just don't bother. They just pass on the loss of these fraudulent transactions.
I know.
And if the check is and that's been going on for many decades, if the check is made out to two people, then it has to be deposited. Every check that I get from an insurance company, it has to get deposited. It cannot be cashed, and both people have to be present at the teller when you deposit it.
That's just wrong. That last part's wrong.
Well,
I had you up till then.
No. We agree with everything you said, but you don't have to have people present when you deposit a check.
I'm telling you, the U.S. Bank requires it. When you get an insurance check, both people have to present IDs so they can check the signatures.
What do you mean both people? What do you mean? But I don't understand. Maybe
the check is made
so your
out
banker shows up, your insurance company shows up at your bank.
If your mortgage company has to endorse it, and the insurance adjuster has to endorse it, and you have to endorse it,
all three of you have to be at the bank.
No, he's saying like husband and wife. If it's made out to you and Suzanne, you both have to be there.
Got it. I got it, sir. I got it. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Paul,
So
listen.
It's really straightforward.
I like what you're saying about State Farm has to literally prove they paid, and just showing a canceled check doesn't prove they paid because they could have given it to their friend.
No, but it shows who endorsed it, just like he said. There's your evidence.
Yeah, but then they are the ones to investigate it. They are the ones, and I agree with that. Thank you, Paul. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And what if it happened to you?
And it's not going to be a deal where it's a remote deposit like through a phone. Someone went and cashed this check, or didn't cash it. Someone went and deposited this check.
Now, we have had other things happen like this. Listen to this one. You're owed money from a vendor, okay? You're owed money. The vendor wants to pay you. Someone sends the vendor an email saying, here's your invoice, okay? They think it's coming from you. Your vendor thinks it's coming from you. They hit the pay link and make a payment. We had this happen to someone, $70,000.
With one caveat. It was coming from them. They hacked into that guy's email.
Yeah, but here's what I wasn't going to give that away yet. I was going to say under different scenarios who's responsible. But in any case, the vendor paid the bill. Now, your email was hacked. Is it your fault that your email was hacked? Is it your fault? And furthermore, was the vendor reckless in not checking that pay link? I mean, really, if you get a pay link, how many times have you hit it and paid? What if someone else is sending you that email? Who is responsible? This has happened more than once. Who do you think, Mark? Do you think that if you or us, if we had our email hacked?
Courts have already answered this question.
Well, I don't know. Have they?
Yeah, and basically what they say is whoever is most responsible.
Oh, well, yeah, but who is most?
It's different in every circumstance.
I mean, if I simply get a pay link in my email and I pay it, can I claim I paid my bill? And the vendor and my person says, no, you didn't.
Big one happened with a car company, a car dealership that worked with another company for a long time, and they would buy 20, 30 vans at the time. The money was wired from that other company. The car dealer sent the invoice for 20 vans or whatever it was, and it was bogus. Someone broke into their computer system and sent it out. In that particular case, they were saying the company that wired the money was not responsible, and they got to keep the vans, basically. Wow. So, but it's different in every circumstance.
God.
The reason they said that is someone literally broke in to their computer system and sent the invoices from there. It's not like they changed anything. They basically sent the same thing.
They were a victim of crime.
With the exception, they did change the banking information.
So should the vendor know enough before paying that bill? Should you verify payment links?
I think nowadays you have to.
There was a story where a woman AI was involved that imitated her boss on the phone. So
you mean verbally, orally?
She was verifying the transfer with him on the phone.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was millions of dollars.
I mean, with AI, we're in for a lot of trouble. 303-713-8255. We are in for a lot of trouble.
Is SaferNet still in business?
Who?
SaferNet?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop that kind of thing.
No, it just was a. It just
I
reminded
think the
me.
biggest thing is that credit card part, and I think a lot of these companies are not credit card part. I'm sorry, changing the bank account information. If the bank account information ever changes, you should probably figure it out. If the bank account information's the same, who cares, right? Just like my Ameritrade and Schwab, if you might hack into my Schwab or something, but the only place you can transfer money is to one of my bank accounts.
Yeah, because you'll get notified of change of account or change.
Yeah, and you can't change it without going through all kinds of shit.
Yep.
It's one of those things you think's a pain in the ass, but you're glad it's there.
But I can't do that. I don't have any money in the bank. Unlike Mark.
Hold on, guys. Yes, it is Car Friday, and let's talk about RV Friday, too. LazyDays.com, the RV authority. What do we mean by that? Well, if you think RV, you think Lazy Days. I'm talking about sales and service, new and used. That's right. They have used vehicles, too, and they'll even buy your used one. That's how brisk their sales are. LazyDays.com, including the beautiful new maintenance facility up at I-25 and exit 240, LazyDays.com. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with this particular roof that has a substance on it that transfers smog and CO2 and stuff into harmless gases, into nitrogen that is good for your soil and your house. And when it rains, the watershed is good for your soil, and the air that infiltrates your home is healthier. I swear, this is the most unbelievable. Anyway, I digress. But Genesis handles this smog-eating roof. They also, of course, can do any roof and siding, stucco, windows, doors, any storm damage, all on one invoice. But you got to ask about that smog-eating roof. It is not more expensive. It's better for you and the environment. 303-679-8509. The Art of Granite will give you a price right now. Call them, say, hey, I'd like to get a countertop. Maybe you want quartzite, quartz, marble, you want granite, whatever. They will give you a quote on the phone because they love their deals. They tear out and haul away free always. And they do the bathroom vanity free when you have the kitchen done, or you can get a free kitchen sink. 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919.
So is your son graduating from high school this year?
Did I graduate?
No, is he graduating from high school?
Who?
Your son?
No, next year.
Oh, okay. Is he looking at colleges yet?
Yes.
Where do you want to go? CU?
No, he wants to go to USC.
Oh, okay.
That's where he wants to go. He's also looking at, I don't know, somewhere in New York and some other place.
This is why we need that money for Ukraine right now. You know, there's people that argue, and they argue it pretty well. I don't know the truth of it, but the parts of Ukraine Russia is taking are parts that speak Russia, want to be Russia.
Yeah.
Is that true?
They are Russian, yes.
But do they want to be taken over?
I'm sure, debatable, but it was part of Russia, and Russian is spoken there.
I've seen interviews where they're like, we want to be part of Russia, but Ukraine doesn't want to cut them loose. I mean, it's really crazy shit.
It's hard to, who do you believe?
That's why I'm saying I'm not smart enough to know.
No.
I haven't paid attention to that conflict. I really haven't.
It's been going on, so it's becoming like Vietnam.
Yeah.
This fucking thing's going to be going on for the rest of our lives.
I'm still surprised that the Russians did invade.
Well, did you see that new weapon they fired in there?
What?
Holy shit. It's not new, but it's the first time they deployed it. It goes 8,000 miles per hour. There is no defense.
What goes 8,000 miles?
This missile Russia has. It flies so fast, there's not one goddamn thing that can take it out of the sky. It goes so fast, it already explodes before the other missiles shoot to destroy it.
They developed it?
Well, they just used it. They deployed it.
Every major country now is hypersonic.
Russia.
Yeah, they all.
But you know what's interesting?
No, we have one too, he said.
Yeah, we do, but we don't have any that can take them down.
Neither do they.
In other words, yeah, that's true.
But have you seen...
There's not enough time for the computers to even calculate.
Have you seen the YouTube stuff about the drones taking out Russian tanks?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
They can't put a tank anywhere. They're being totally destroyed. The
Ukrainian
drones,
they're building drones.
Are taking... That cost, $20,000 are taking out $2 million tanks with impunity.
Yeah.
It's amazing if you watch some of the newsreels.
They're losing a lot of
Mark,
ground.
do you ever read or look at their website, Judicial Watch?
Probably I've read articles there, but not gone directly there. Let me see.
If half of the shit is true that they publish, Biden should be in jail with his son. Literally, in jail.
If it was if there was a Republican Senate, he would be.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, the next frontier for war will be space. Right now, the Russians are developing a satellite that will block other satellites. Do you know who they want to block first? Because of the freedom of information that it's allowing?
Starlink.
Exactly, Starlink. From our friend Elon. Elon, the king of free speech, and people, that's why he's the enemy of liberals, because liberals do not believe in free speech. Oh, no, they do. No, I'm sorry. If you ask someone, they will say, we believe in free speech, but only liberal free speech. We don't believe in speech that goes against the narrative, because that is what? 2 words, either hateful or dangerous. So they don't believe in hateful or dangerous speech. What is hateful or dangerous? Anything they call hateful or dangerous. And by the way, just since I'm in a crappy mood about this anyway, I absolutely, positively don't know how anyone justifies the prices and the exclusivity of the Super Bowl. I mean, the new word now is inclusivity. Mm-hmm. Well, tell me where the cheap seats were.
Well, it depends what you're referring to as cheap seats.
Just so you know, your mic's not on, but that's not a bad thing for me.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not on, Doc. I mean, but I think they just put it there just so you felt good. Why isn't his mic working there, Shannon? Is that by design?
Try it.
Did Mark flip you a 20? Go ahead, Doc. Try it now.
Can you hear me now?
Is his mic on? Okay, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, it's a private company. You might as well be against any company setting price on their product.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, you're talking about the exclusivity and the prices of the Super Bowl. The NFL is a privately held company.
Right.
You might as well complain that Tesla
I'm not complaining.
or
No.
Ford.
By the way, I'm not complaining that it's exclusive. I don't care if it is. They have a right to be exclusive. But what I'm saying is, so many places have been attacked for being exclusive and not being inclusive. That's all. That's all.
It's because a lot of the Hollywoods and those people go. A lot of the old sports.
But they're all
figures.
there.
Hey, I have a question for you, Tom.
Where's the cheap seats at the Oscars?
Nowhere.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. You'll never do away with exclusivity is my point. I'm not saying we should. It's tongue in cheek.
Why do you think we should get rid of it?
Oh, God. Anyway, so I think that we're never going to, here's what we're never going to get rid of. Rich people and poor people. Mm-hmm. We're never going to get rid of exclusive and inclusive. We should get rid of, no, seriously, we should get rid of, the racism and all that bull crap. And I think we're doing a good job. I really do. I mean, I really do. I think the only people that keep that alive are the people that need that for their coffers. They need that for their troops. They need to rally people around something. And that seems to be a good thing to rally people around.
Hey, Tom, I have a question for you.
I have never once, honest to God, never once heard a politician in the last 15 or 20 years ever preach against a black person for being black or anything Asian or anything. I've never heard it ever.
Depends how you would define that.
But I've never heard anything that I would interpret. I'm a white guy, so that's weird. But that I would interpret
How about
as
if someone
racist.
said you're not black if you don't vote for me? How would you look at that?
I don't know. As stupidity, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, here's what I want to know, though. I am willing to listen, honest to God, more than anyone else, I think, on the radio. I'm willing to listen if you can show me examples. Truly. Now, I want to hear examples, real examples of hate. Real examples of hate. Now, not from the fringe left and right. We always have crazies. I'm talking about mainstream politicians, all of them. I want to hear a real example of hate or racism or sexism or ageism. That's what I'd like. Because I think that we just grab onto these things to keep our cause alive. Okay? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So cars that go over 200,000 miles routinely. You want to know? You want to know the ones that make the club?
Top of the list got to be Toyota.
You're absolutely ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
He gets my dinger on Car Friday.
And it's got to be a diesel, right, Kevin?
No, it's not.
No.
Toyota Camry. Mm-hmm. It routinely will hit 200,000 miles or more. But the second one is also Toyota, and I did not realize this car is known for longevity.
What, Corolla?
No, I'll give you a hint.
Prius?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Doc, Prius.
God, you see them out there, they look old.
Yeah, but he's right. I wouldn't have guessed that at 200,000.
Anyway, we got more of those coming up, plus your calls, 303-713-8255. By the way, Ideal Home Loans is still doing home loans. I want you to remember something. These guys are the only ones with the interest rate guarantee. So if you get one now and rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. 303-867-7000.
I was going to ask you, Tom, if you think that it's appropriate for the President of the United States to give a speech to the nation about a Russian problem.
Yes.
I don't think...
What is he talking about, by the way, now?
Putin off the dude
Right, I know that.
in the
That's
gulag.
That's what they're talking about. Yeah. That's the guy's name.
And I'm sure what he's really
Well, I
talking
said-
about is how important it is to pass financing
Yeah.
for
We need the money.
Ukraine.
Yep.
That's why he's doing it.
Oh, he had to
Look
come
at him.
out
Look at
and
him
tell us.
walk.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear to God, opening that... Jesus Christ. I don't think he could pass a cognitive test.
No, they won't. They won't give
it
him
to
one either.
That should be required. Shouldn't that
I
be
agree.
required for all presidents?
No, I agree.
For all candidates?
I think for all politicians, for crying out loud.
If you're looking for an income-producing investment, you can look into becomethebanker.org, and it's a very simple thing, okay? You deposit money, you immediately get a bonus for depositing that. Now, it has to stay there. It has to stay there, and then you're guaranteed a return. You're also guaranteed never to lose a dime of that principal or anything you gain or the bonus. And then when you retire, you're guaranteed income for life, depending on how much it's grown to. And Joe Chiano will answer all of your questions at 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600. And while we're talking about income, let's talk about legacy. If you need an estate planning firm to look at your legacy, your estate, what you have, what you will have, or how you want to control what your heirs do with it, you can see Keel and Park. That's an estate planning law firm, Keel and Park. They'll meet with you and free of charge go over your entire estate, then come up with a flat rate for what you need. And you can pick good, better, best. Maybe do some of it, maybe do part of it, maybe do all of it. They'll price it accordingly. Keel and Park, attorneys you can trust. They won't nickel and dime you. You'll get your prices up front. 970-818-8198. 970-818-8198, lawkp.com.
You smoking anything this weekend, bro?
I don't know. Maybe just some wings. I never got to do them for Super Bowl.
Actually, those sound good. Wings sound good.
Wings are always good.
So, Mark, from what you're hearing of this trial, is this Fulton County DA, I know she might have a conflict of interest, but does it affect her prosecution of this case?
Well, the trial's not about that.
Oh, what is it about?
The trial is about, did she get enriched? And it looks like she did. Now,
because why did she get?
And also
she wrote her boyfriend, lover, whatever they call, $650,000
Did
in
he
checks.
write money back?
Well, no, but he took her on what people are saying are extravagant vacations.
Oh.
And you know how she claims she repaid him for every penny.
in cash.
In cash. So there's no receipts, there's no anything. But even more importantly, I think she lied under oath, which would really get her kicked off the case. She has said in a deposition, along with her lover, that they got together after a certain date, which is when she hired him. In other words, she hired him. But it looks like, according to two huge witnesses, that's all bullshit and they lied. So if the judge believes that, both of them are facing a lot of trouble besides getting kicked off the case. The problem is, though, this judge resides in front of her 24/7. She's the DA of the county that's in front of that judge all the time. The good news, though, is at least it was a Trump or what we would think is a Republican judge. But they're all buddy-buddy, man. They go to the same dinners. They do all the same shit together. It is when Trump said it's a swamp, the whole fucking thing's a swamp. Both sides.
Doesn't he look old and just...
No, not at all.
No, he looks like a spring fucking chicken.
He looks like a vibrant motherfucker, man.
Right.
Did you see his video?
Of course he
of
fumbles.
the Super Bowl with his ice cream.
No, that's
You didn't
how they
see that
shut
one?
him up, though. When he's got an ice cream cone, he's at his best,
He's
man.
at his best.
Ooh,
No,
ice
he's talking
cream.
about shrinkflation.
How do you
and
pronounce
they
that guy's
shrink.
name? Navalny?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russian man.
Or no, Navalny? Navalny's. Not Navalny, Navalny. Navalny.
I have no idea. More importantly, how do all these people figure out how this shit's response? Or
Well, it's a good thing Biden
Navalny.
announced all
I
this.
still don't
He
think
figured
that
it
the
out.
president should be addressing the American public on an internal Russian affair.
why?
Navalny?
Because it has nothing to do with us.
Well, big deal. I guarantee they're talking about our election all the time. In fact, Putin just came out and endorsed Biden. Did you see that? That was the
I'd
best.
rather have Biden
I
than
know he
Trump.
did.
Yeah.
He's a better politician.
He's more predictable.
Yeah, but can you imagine if they do the 25th Amendment and Kamala Harris becomes president? I'd rather have Biden.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Neither one of them's be running the country anyway.
I wish I could
Biden's
find
not
a
running.
Biden impersonator. We have
She's-
plenty of Trumps. I want to get a Biden impersonator.
Well, who's the guy on Fox at night and stuff does the...
Greg Gutfield?
I like that show.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-255. President Trump did address the nation. Excuse me, President. Oh, my God. What a Freudian slip. That was President Biden. I'm right up there with Biden. President Biden just addressed the nation on the Navalny death. And he chided Putin for killing political enemies and said what you really should do is muck them down in legal investigations and crime.
I was going to say, or just try to jail them.
You need to indict them. You don't kill them. You just indict them, or you sue them, or
Send
you,
them to the gulag.
you know. So that's the way to properly deal with political enemies is you weaponize your Justice Department and get all the local Soros district attorneys to bring charges, and then you weigh them down with legal stuff. That's
I'm so proud
do not
of you.
kill them. Do not kill them. I'm just in a crap eating mood today. I don't care, and I'm on my I'm starting my DGAS tour. I decided
Your what?
DGAS tour. DGAST. And now anyone who comes up with the answer will get a prize. But that's my tour.
Your D-gas tour.
DGAST.
You're no longer going to pass gas in studio, hopefully.
Anyway, we have an oil leak issue. Today is Car Friday, as I was corrected. It's not Car Day, it's Car Friday. And Doug wants to talk about his 2023 Dodge Ram. By the way, Dodges in general, they've improved a lot, haven't they, Kevin? I mean, remember, they were a third when it came to quality trucks.
Yeah, they were the bottom, and they're still below Ford and Chevy.
You
but
think
they're-
so?
Yeah,
Maintenance
they're
and all
getting
that?
closer.
Did you see, by the way, and Doug, you're next. Go ahead, Doug.
Okay. Well, what I've got is a new 2023 Ram, like you said. Changed the oil. Easiest oil change I've ever done. Now it's leaking oil like crazy.
Well, don't you think it's
I
something you
replaced-
did?
Oh, yes. It's definitely something I did. I'm not blaming it on anyone else.
Okay, no.
I
What do you
just
think
can't
you did? I
figure
mean,
it out.
it could be something very simple, right, Kev?
Yeah, you could have a double O-ring on the oil filter, wrong oil filter, anything like that.
I don't know. What do you
Well,
think
what
it?
I-
Where's it leaking from, Doug? Can you tell?
I can't, Tom. I've gone back and I've gone and replaced the filter. I went to Napa, got that. It's not a double O-ring. I did have the original O-ring in the wrong position, so I moved that up. I'm not over tightening it, but man, I just went out for 2-mile drive, got my oil pressure light on.
What? It's that bad? You're not getting pressure?
Yeah. The oil pressure came on, and in 3 miles, the oil pressure gauge almost went to 0.
Well, geez, Kev, that's I don't know.
Yeah,
what can it be?
That's something needs to be looked at. There's something in that filter.
Did something
not
go
right.
through it?
Something's not right in the filter.
Have you? Why don't you just try changing out the filter again?
He did.
Wait. Did you change out the filter again?
Oh yeah, I went back to Napa. They comped me one. I put in a
No
new
fooling.
filter. Such an easy process.
Kevin, what's your gut
Well,
saying?
my gut. These cartridge filters are challenging. They got O-rings in different places. They got to be done right, or they will.
Could something have fallen in there?
Not likely. It just somebody needs to get a look at it.
Well, listen,
It
hold
needs to
on
be
a sec.
towed,
We'll
though.
see if we get some recommendations. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. My degassed tour continues on Car Friday. Get your calls in on anything you want to talk about, and I mean anything.
VGAST?
Yeah.
I am now.
Here's Kelly. She's got to say this.
Very good and shitty.
Go ahead, Kelly.
What?
Ask what you were asking.
I'm not going to do it now because now you're freaking me out. Because everybody's going to probably... I don't
Good.
understand why
Still
you would
hot.
go to Napa Valley for an oil filter.
Oh, my God. And she could be serious.
What?
You know this? Tom, can you hear us?
DGAST.
Don't give it a shit till tomorrow or something.
I can't hear him. He's not talking to me.
Who?
You don't have your headphones on. Oh, you do.
Hello. Check, check, check. Hello.
You're not
listening
talking to me.
offline?
Oh,
Monitoring
you got to hit
offline?
offline, bro. Hit offline. About 4 down from PGM or 2 down.
There's so many freaking buttons in there. Sorry, you good?
I don't even see. Oh.
Hello. Hey. Kelly was wondering why someone would go all the way to California for an oil filter. Napa, you know. She's and I don't think she's kidding.
Because it's warmer. Hello.
I
Duh.
said scenic.
And he
Come
needed
on.
wine.
Napa. Wow.
No, Hold
Here
on.
she goes. Here she goes.
I'm missing something here.
We know that.
Lots.
Yep.
Kelly, Biden is 81. What's your excuse? This is what I want to know.
She is
You know what I've been getting into lately, by the way?
weaponized
No.
ignorance.
I've been looking specifically for mini-series, for limited series that are inspired or based on Stephen King.
I love Stephen King.
Holy shit. I
like the story about the guy that hit him in
nothing
his
really
car.
gory.
I like
there was
this-
one.
I like the stories.
Yeah. There was one, a murder mystery. Turned out to be supernatural, but it was a murder mystery. Really good. What the
Almost
fuck?
all is
Oh, it's called The Outsider. Have you ever read or seen that? Did you see the series, Mark?
I listened to the book on tape.
Oh my God, is that good? Then the other one I'm watching now, Under the Dome.
Yeah, that one.
Don't tell me.
Well, no, there's no fucking ending. Oh, are
shit.
you reading the book or the series?
The series. There's
Well,
no
what a
ending.
stupid premise.
I'm going to be pissed. Does it leave you fucking hanging?
It just stops.
That son of a bitch. It's supposed to be a limited series.
I mean, as far as I remember, it just stopped. Oh, it's a limited series. It
so I have to
stops.
then get the book.
And honestly, I don't know if it was a book.
No, it was.
Okay.
I thought it was.
I thought they
it
all
says,
were, yeah.
It says it was based on his.
Isn't that a stupid premise?
The
That
dome?
there's a dome
I
over a
loved it.
town.
I loved it. Fuck, I loved it.
And no one knows why. It's just there.
It just happened.
Damn it. You saw that already. I'm like,
God, that's got to be
It's old.
10 years old.
No, it's not that old. No.
No.
I don't.
Do I hear a bet? Bet.
that old, Mark.
Who was that? Fred Flintstone? Bet.
Up Napa Auto Parts yet.
You're going to owe me that 500 here pretty soon.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's an
I
auto.
mean exactly that.
You think so?
Why didn't you freaking say
You
that?
watch Sleeper Cell, right,
Because you
Tom?
were too funny
that?
talking
Did you
about.
watch Sleeper Cell?
Yes.
How am I supposed
Okay.
to know what a freaking auto parts store
I love stuff that has a beginning and an end.
I'm proud that you know different Merlot varietals.
2013. 10
Did you
years.
watch Beirut?
Almost 11 years. I didn't know that. Was that?
Did you watch Beirut?
No.
You should watch it. It's
I like the deal
four-part
where that
about
guy
a,
hit Stephen King with his car.
A Mossad
and the guy died.
Agent who infiltrates.
Did you know that deal? Man hits Stephen King with car.
What? He didn't die, no. We would have heard.
Driver who hit Stephen King dies. September 25th, 2000.
Oh, in 2000? Shit.
Oh, no.
You looking it up?
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't
You
you,
know
guys
what?
just
Even
tell
though,
me it was
even
an
if she
auto
doesn't get
parts
disqualified,
place?
how can
Because
you say
sometimes
that
there is
after
no
this,
cutting through
she's
the
not gonna
hard
prejudice
candy shell that
against
is your
Trump?
noggin.
Oh my God. Okay.
He
now
was
I
having
feel
way too much fun with you, Kelly.
now I feel stupid. Okay, whatever.
Oh, now. Well, that's crazy. Didn't know there was a threshold.
Shannon?
What?
See, I just don't know if she's trying to play that dumb blonde.
That's what I'm
or-
talking about.
I'm not blonde.
Any part of you? That's what I mean, that weaponized ignorance that is just toxic.
I don't. That's that.
Probably
I've
what
never
killed
been to
Navani.
an auto parts store. I don't know. I know
we know.
Napa for. Okay, forget it. I'm not gonna say it. There's lines of demarcation. Okay, this is an Adam thing. Okay, Adam handles all the auto part stuff.
You go elsewhere for your lube.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. They're good.
And you notice, no, I shouldn't say it.
I know, I just...
No, I was going to say about the district attorneys coming after him, they're all black. Every one of them.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Bragg, her, the
Yep,
other one from Letitia, whatever her name was.
Yeah, that's true.
Very popular at a backyard barbecue, taking in that Trump fella.
Trump is so easy to hate for them.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I have not known anybody with an ego problem that liked him.
What?
Yep.
Anyone with an ego problem.
Yeah. I haven't known any, raging narcissist or self-absorbed jackwagons that like Trump.
I don't know anyone who likes him.
Right.
Who
I
actually
like him.
likes him. You don't like him.
I do
I do like him. And you, I can't remember the columnist, the New
Yeah.
York columnist
Kaplan loves
in
him.
the 60s that said, I don't know how Nixon won. No one I know voted for him. Yeah.
That's what they said about Trump.
Well, I know, but it speaks to a greater isolation of
Yeah.
sissies and...
No, it does.
Yeah.
So this case, are they trying to get the prosecutor removed?
Yes.
Well, just because she was going for the anaconda and she had the whatever.
They're just trying to be disruptive.
She is? He is.
He is.
They are?
Yep.
I like watching Biden, the people that do it with a bingo card, and see what name he's going to say. People had nativity.
Khrushchev.
Yeah.
We had a meeting yesterday.
Those eyebrows, I tell you what.
Shit. Adam's heard of it.
Adam has heard of Napa Auto Parts? That is so weird. That guy is...
God, there's only one every block across the entire country, like McDonald's.
They only rival Starbucks. All right. Let's make some magic here.
Ripped off, red girls. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter
First of all,
Show.
he didn't do anything.
Now, Tom Martino.
It wasn't me.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and I am here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. But first, I want to say, what's that? I'm just privileged to have Kevin Spacey here from Sheridan Auto Tech. Kevin, thanks for being here. And Mark.
And Father John to your right.
Yeah, that's right. And Father John. And Sissy Spacek, Susie Spacek. Anyway, we really shouldn't make fun of the elderly since I'm one.
Getting closer, yeah.
No, but that brings up a very true, interesting topic. I know people your age, maybe a little older, a little younger. Let's take some of the ones younger, say 68, that appear and act like Joe Biden, like they're 80. Mm-hmm. So
and then we know people 80 who act like they're 60.
That's exactly right.
Like
we'll
your
go to
buddy
yoga sometimes, and there's this old guy there that's built pretty well, and I know he's in his 80s, and it's like, how the hell is that even possible?
Sharp as a tack. What defines it, do you think? I think the way they take care of themselves. I bet you 90% of it's what you're dealt.
I think you give up. I think it's whenever you give in to the age is when you
that's part of
become old.
I think that's part of it. I think something else. I think that heredity has so much to do with it.
Longevity.
I don't. Yeah, the genes, right? I don't think I've ever seen someone who was completely old and decrepit who had a youthful young family around them. You know what I mean? Their older siblings and parents, and they all seem to be the same. If you ever look at a family, you don't normally see someone who. Once in a while you'll see an outlier, but normally they're either all healthy or they're all decrepit, kind of.
That's
don't you find that?
I hope I don't get smacked by my wife.
Or all medium.
Her family. If you look at her family in general, they are not in good shape or anything. But Suzanne's in perfect shape.
That's lifestyle. I don't think it's heredity with Suzanne. I don't think it's bad genes.
Yeah, but that's exactly. I think it all goes into the same thing, though.
It could be either or. I think a bad lifestyle, of course, but I think with Suzanne is her problem. I'll bet you her family could have been as healthy as what I'm saying.
What do you think?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I think it's lifestyle. Yeah, I think it's life. I think lifestyle has a lot to do with it. Heredity has a lot to do with it. Obviously, being proactive has a lot to do with it. I think you can counteract a lot of the negative stuff you're dealt. But in general, I mean, if you have a really bad family history, now you can beat the odds a bit, right? But if you're dealt genes that are just bad and they just trigger.
Tom, I think lifestyle is everything.
Oh,
diet and exercise.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. But don't you think,
Well, there's a lot of people that are prone to, let's just say, diabetes, and that's purely from their bloodline. That just doesn't come up.
Well, type 1 is. The type 2 diabetics, they
a
seem
lot of
to
that
be,
can be lifestyle.
Yeah, but it does. But he's right. It does seem to follow families because they grew up with the lifestyle. I mean, it's hard to differentiate sometimes. But type 2 is almost always people abusing themselves, and then that's just life. And by the way, that's a great segue into GrossmanWellness.com. I'm serious. I could not say enough about him. I'm a big believer in concierge medicine. Now, a lot of people that say, well, I can't afford it. Well, you can't not afford it. I mean, I'll bet you can find money in your budget for a few $100 a month. And I'm serious. I'm dead serious because that includes all supplements, lab work, blood work. I mean, and most of the prescriptions you need, really. But anyway, GrossmanWellness.com. Now, Doug has an oil leak that's so bad, his oil pressure went to 0, and we still can't figure it out. Now, he hung up, but it's the weirdest problem. He changed his oil, and after that it happened, Kevin says, I would trace it to the filter.
Did it stop leaking at any point?
When it ran out of oil.
No, he said no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He said
it's hemorrhaging oil. But yeah, he's just got to stop driving it, tow it somewhere, get it up in the air, see what happened.
The top 2 cars for going 200,000 miles, the Camry and the Prius, both Toyotas. And this is a survey of past and present owners. The Honda Accord. How about that? Honda Accord. And these cars are not really expensive, by the way. No. The Honda CR-V. Man, my God, Toyota has another one on here, the Tacoma. On the top 10, so far, and then the Toyota Tundra. Toyota has the highest number of highest mileage cars on the top 10 list. And then another one, Toyota Corolla, my God, and the Honda. The Honda and Toyota dominate this list of 200,000-mile vehicles.
And they have for a long time.
Why do they have such longevity? What was this I heard about Toyota and sludge? Is that not true?
No, not Toyota so much. Volkswagen has a problem with it.
Okay,
A lot of
so
cars do.
Toyota and Honda, if you want longevity, holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why they hold their value. You can sell a 200,000-mile Toyota for 15 grand.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy one.
I
I don't
wouldn't
care.
either,
I don't care what it is. When you get up to that high mileage, not a good deal. But in any case, the Toyota, this is just unbelievable. The Toyota has on the list for the top dozen, let's say, they have the Toyota Highlander, the 4Runner, they have the Corolla, and they have the Tundra, and they have the Tacoma, and they have the Prius, and they have the Camry. My God. So, Kevin, you see a lot of those.
Absolutely.
With a lot of miles.
Yep, and people spend the money and maintain them, and they do
Now,
run.
if we took I don't know, I can't even think of a car anymore. Ford Focus. Could you make that less or not? Is it just you're just doomed?
It's hereditary, like we were talking
Okay.
before.
You're just doomed.
You're just doomed.
They don't make the parts the same? They don't.
It's not. They have issues.
Let's talk to Kyle. Kyle, what's going on with Home Depot? Hi, Kyle.
Hey, it's not a problem yet, but I just sent some information over to you guys. So Home Depot was installing an over-the-range microwave at our house.
Yeah.
We had bought an appliance package, so dishwasher, fridge, microwave. Anyway, they dropped it, and it basically smashed our electric cooktop that's right below it. And
the brand new one you just bought?
We didn't buy the cooktop. That's the original cooktop from when we purchased the house. We bought the house in November. And it's with Home Depot's claims department now. But I was actually just reaching out. I wanted to talk to you.
How old is the cooktop and what kind is it?
It's a GE Profile. It's a 5-burner. It's probably the same age as the house. The house was built in 2002. So it's probably 22 years old.
Yeah, it's a Profile cooktop. Those are good cooktops. Really good.
Great. Yeah, exactly. So
and however, it's not new. It's not new. And you're going to be insulted. They're going to depreciate it.
So what do you think?
I don't know. We got to figure. Go on and start researching the life span of a Profile cooktop, or call Jensen Appliance. Ask them. They're pretty damn good. And there's another person you can ask. I ran across this person. They're not on the referral list. I'm going to give you caution, but God, are they?
Hey, I have a contact at Home Depot. Just give us a call back
if there's a problem.
Got it. Now, Tom, let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming that this cooktop is original to the house, but I don't know that. I just bought this house in November.
Well, there's a serial number. You can maybe find a serial number or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll look at that. Okay. All right. But I should expect that they're going to try to depreciate this thing, huh?
Yeah. And, God, I'm trying to find this one appliance guy that knows everything about everything, and he can tell you what he thinks it will do and all of that. So if I find it, I'll give a shout out on the air. But here's what you do, Kyle. Find out with a serial number, a data plate, how old it is, and then go and research average lifespan. It doesn't have to be year for year. Like if it's a 20-year lifespan and you went 10 years, it doesn't have to be 50%, but they're going to try that. They're going to try. Okay. And did you just move in?
I did, yeah. I did.
Was it working? Do you know if it's been working perfectly or not?
Perfectly. No issues. Everything worked wonderfully, but now it's...
Have you looked online to see... I know one thing. They're not going to buy you a new one. They're just not going to.
I know.
Okay? If you went online, what does that cost new?
About $800 for a similar GE Profile replacement.
Well, then I think they should. That's nothing. I mean, compared to what it could be. So I want to ask you, this is between you and me. What would you be satisfied with if they came back and they said, we'll give you half, $400, go get a new one?
No, I would still expect them to replace it at full cost. I don't think it should cost me a dime.
Well, it will. So I'm just going to tell you it will. Even if you went to court, it would. See, no one gets free stuff. And I know it's such a pain in the ass, this depreciation thing. People say, well, I wasn't going to replace it, but you were someday. And nothing lasts forever. And no one owes you what they did not take from you.
Yes, correct. So it's a good question. I don't know what I would be satisfied
You need to
with. My
come.
wife might
You
have a
need to
different
come.
answer.
Well, you don't have to settle just because of me either, but you have to come to something in your mind where you're going to say, okay, let's just get it done. Maybe 600. And make sure that it's 800. That sounds low to me for a profile cooktop.
Last question, if you don't mind. What's your experience? Do you guys have any experience with Home Depot and handling these claims? We've always bought from Lowe's because of where we lived, and when we moved, now there's a
Home Depot. Home Depot.
I'd say Costco or Sam's.
Yeah, are better, but Home Depot's not terrible. They're not a terrible company. Okay, so call us back though.
The warranty at the warranty at Costco is great because you automatically get an additional year from the manufacturers. It's just wonderful, and the pricing's good too, even if you got to buy a membership.
But I would like to see what they come back with. That would be curious.
After this break, I just talked to Matt at Paragon.
This is a good one. This is about the check that was lost, and they want him to make up for it, because they say they never got it. Now, Tom's got a question on an engine on a Land Rover, a 2016. We're going to come back to that and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Why does he sound familiar?
Because he's popular.
The last complaint I handled from Home Depot, I got the name of the corporate woman who takes care of
Give
consumer
it to
complaints.
her so she can put it on her list.
There's no...
Hey, you know what? Lazy Days RV is the RV authority, lazydays.com. It's such a great website. It'll give you all the locations, including our friends who used to be Century RV that are now Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont. Lazy Days, the good people for new and used RVs, great trade-in values, and a wonderful service department no matter where you go, but they have a brand new service facility up north at I-25 and exit 240. It's incredible. LazyDays.com. You know, in these days of a lack of service, people complain about not getting service. Frank Duran will astound you. By any measure, he super serves, whether you're buying real estate or selling real estate. And here's the other thing. If you're just curious about what your house will bring on the market and you're not really sure you want to list, with no obligation, you can call Frank and he'll run it through the mill and he'll actually give a complete, detailed analysis on what you will make on that house. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
So that Vine company, so in Colorado Springs, you're building two venues. One's called Sunset. So, no, but they don't own them. But what they're going to do is they're going to combine with Vine so they don't have to go through all the hoops to become public. So it's going to become one company. Vine is mostly wineries across California and
You
other
should get
places.
this guy on the referral list, Roma. This guy came. We have a Thermador. That Thermador refrigerator is probably $8,000, $10,000.
Yeah, new more than that.
Now, the compressor went out. We thought it would not start. It would not do anything. The compressor is 20 years. The refrigerator.
I know what happened.
20 years old.
You didn't need a compressor, did you?
No.
It got dusty and dirty. And
No, it was the capacitor, the
Hmm.
starter.
Yeah.
You know, like your air compressor has
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I just
Compressors,
changed
yeah.
mine. I never even thought of that because it needs a capacitor to kickstart it.
Yep.
He could have if he would have told us we need a compressor without question,
Yeah.
we would have done without question. He says, you know, these compressors are good forever. He knew it was 20 years old. He says, you just need it. It was $180.
Wow.
This guy charged $180 and fixed everything. And I said, holy shit. It was on a Sunday. Now,
what?
He came on a Sunday and he came for $180 on a Sunday and could have raked us over the coals.
You almost feel guilty.
I said, man.
He's probably
said,
Jewish, so he didn't go to church on Sunday.
He's Russian or something like that.
So
He
he's a
says,
Russian Jew.
He said, I like just getting things done, helping people out. And he has his own company. And it's called Apex Tech. And the guy is just great. He's
Good
just
to
a
know.
great guy.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I don't think he's sophisticated enough to have.
Apex Tech, one word or?
Apex and then TECH is what his card said. I don't think he had a website on there. He has an email and a number.
Everything's, just send me the info. But everything on here is a tech company, literally. Apex Tech, software provider.
Roma is his name.
So I bought a bunch of that right around 70 cents. But, I'm already, it's 30% up for me or 20.
Yep.
We'll see what happens.
What's 30 up?
Vine. So they own a bunch of wineries. It's penny ante shit.
So
high risk, high reward.
It's so volatile right
It's
now.
fucking gambling. When you
it's
buy
the
something
best.
like Vine, it's gambling.
I love this market because of it's easier to stand out when you have something solid. When the market does great, it's very difficult to get people's attention. It is.
Yeah.
Even for annuities and stuff. When the market does great,
That's her dad. He was pretty,
what is he testifying?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. What's he up there for?
you know what? I don't even know.
You're saying she's a good little girl?
But he screwed up pretty good.
The dad?
Yeah, he screwed up in his testimony big time. They asked him, the defense asked him, hey, did you watch your daughter's testimony yesterday? And he was supposed to be sequestered, and his answer was, yes, I did watch it. I mean, his entire testimony.
But what is his testimony?
I have no clue.
And whether she
Probably
kept-
that he never saw that dude around.
No, also, the big thing was that she said she
The
kept
money. Yeah,
in the-
he said because she's black and it's a black thing, black people hide money in their house. And he told her to do that ever
So
since
she
she was
does
a
have
little
cash.
kid. Yeah, so it's to say she
A
had
lot
cash.
of cash, though.
Yeah, 15, 20,000,
Yeah.
whatever,
Well, to be in your purse.
We all have that.
I
don't carry that much in Vegas.
No. But I keep. I learned to keep some cash.
We all keep some cash.
What do you consider some?
We usually have maybe, yeah, that's probably about right. Maybe a little less.
I have $2,000 that I keep for my poker money in the house.
Yeah.
Where do you keep it exactly?
Don't.
Hi, Tom Martino,
In
your
my dirty laundry,
troubleshooter.
Tom.
303-713-TALK. 713
what?
8255. Tom, what is going on, Tom? How can we help you?
Oh man, thanks for taking my call, Tom. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, a little over a year ago, probably about 15 months now, I had my 2016 Land Rover Discovery Sport go into Land Rover at Flatiron because it was making all sorts of noises and the engine was running weird. It turns out the twin cams had bad bushings, had to be replaced and adjusted.
How many miles on this, and what year was it you said?
2016. At the time, it had around 87. I think it was actually about 90,000 miles.
Yeah.
And so they replaced the timing chain, did a whole bunch of other stuff. It cost me about $6,000. So I said, okay, good. Now I got my engine back. It feels good. So it's a little past their warranty. The engine starts making these noises again, not accelerating, not idling well. I take it in. I get a diagnostic back. They have to replace the timing chain, a whole bunch of stuff.
Again.
And I can give you the list.
Again. How many miles between those?
Oh, God, I wish I could tell you. But I'm going to guess. I put about 10,000 miles a year on, so I'm going to say 15,000 miles.
Okay. So that's you shouldn't need a timing chain again.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. And the whole bill, I could run down the list of what they want to do. And again, listen, I don't know if it could be related to what they did or not. But
I'm going to Tom, I'm going to tell you some bad news,
58,000.
okay? I think one of the finest looking cars on the road right now are those sports. Those Land Rover Sports are so cool.
Yeah.
They're the worst. You know, I was joking about this. I was about ready to tell these guys something during the break before you even called. There's a YouTube video of a guy that went around and interviewed mechanics. And he asked them about the worst cars, the worst.
Yeah.
For the money. And almost every one of them named the Land Rover. Oh, almost every.
Yeah.
They said they're just terrible, terrible cars. Now, Kevin, not everyone can say that and not mean it. There must be something about it. What is it?
They're just so overcomplicated.
Are they not
everything.
built? Are they not built well?
They're
what are
not.
they?
It's a lot of proprietary stuff that you have to go to Land Rover for, and they're just. It's a perfect 50, 60,000 mile vehicle. Lease it, reuse it, and send it back. Yeah, but don't ever buy one.
I agree. I'm at this point.
How much are they proposing? In addition to the timing chain, what else are they proposing?
Let me go through the list real quick. Okay, so, and again, I don't
Totaling
know.
what? What is it total right now that you need?
$14,050.
Oh my
plus
God!
Taxes and fees. So they wanted to do for $8,195. They wanted to do the replace.
Well, you said it was 14 grand.
14,000. Yep.
That is ridiculous. Are you gonna? What are you gonna do, man?
What is their warranty? You just had it done a year ago. What is their warranty?
I had it done. It was over in a year. The warranty ended in a year.
For that work.
That's nonsense.
Yep. I know. I owe 11,000 on the car. It's not worth 17. So it's ridiculous. I'm trying.
Wait
to
a minute. Is it worth? Is it worth? Can you sell it for what you? Well, it needs all this work. Do they have at this dealer? What dealer is it?
It's Flatirons, Land Rover, Jaguar. I think it is.
God, both
I've had
pieces
work
of
done
crap.
there. They've always done.
So I don't know what to tell you, man. Because even if you wanted to trade it, you're going to take it in the shorts, man.
I think so, because I already owe 11,000 on it still. So I just wanted to see if maybe it was related.
And you
or if
already
had any
did.
interest
Holy
in that.
crap! You already did $6,000, 15,000 miles ago, and now they want another 14. Do they themselves kind of see the ridiculousness in this, or what? What do they say?
You know what? I got it text to me in terms of the proposal, in terms of the cost. I haven't had a chance to go over there and talk to them yet.
Really, they have to see the folly in this. They know you spent $6,000, and they know you shouldn't need another chain. I don't care if it's been a little more than a year. They got to work with you on this, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why I'm calling. I wanted to see if it's worth going to. Certainly not to go into blows, but like, is it worth like?
I'd be pissed if I had 15,000 miles ago a timing chain and they have to do it again. You sure as hell bet I would make them do it.
Yes,
and I would say, look, I'm going to court on that.
And I'm wondering.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering if that. I mean, could the timing chain? If the timing chain went bad or got maladjusted, could it create a lot of these other issues, like the cylinders are misfiring?
Yes, absolutely.
Turbochargers giving.
Yeah, but did you have any drivability? Did you have any drivability problems?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It would.
I mean, when you picked it up after 6,000 in maintenance. So when did you start?
No, everything ran great.
For how long?
About a month ago. So it ran good for about a year and 2 months.
God.
And then it started.
I don't know how they sell those vehicles. How do they sell them?
Well,
they're such bad reputation. Did you know about the reputation before you bought it? Be honest, Tom.
You know, I looked it up, and
you couldn't have found good. You couldn't have found a lot of good reviews on them. You can't.
Not really, but I fell in love with the Discovery Sport, the red one. It was an impulse buy. I had to get it.
And you thought, here's what you thought, because I had a fleeting thought for about 3 seconds. Here's what you think. Yeah, I know. People have problems, but maybe they don't take care of them like I will. And, maybe I'll have a good one.
That's exactly. I'm going to take good care of it. I'm going to get the oil change, everything. So, yeah. Wow. And now it's coming back.
So let me know what they say.
Situation.
Let me know what they say when you go back. But I would demand some help on this. Then, but no matter what, if it's 14 grand, what are you going to get out of there for? 7 or 8? And then that's another 7 or 8. You're buried in that car.
Oh, I know.
Does he, Kevin? Does he just try? Does he try to keep it running until it's paid off?
Well, I don't know what the other $8,000 was. We never got there.
The other $6,000
or six. Yeah. What was the other repair?
It was a timing chain. What else did you have done back then? Does any of that work, other than the timing chain, does any of that previous work have to be redone?
They're not saying anything about the cams. They said the cam timing is off, so that has to be done. But they said that there's an exhaust leak from the turbocharger, so we need to replace that for $8,195 plus taxes.
Oh my
An evaporative leak from an evaporative detected pump, protection pump, so we would have to replace that.
Who
for
makes these?
$550.
Who makes these engines? Who makes them? Does Land Rover?
Land Rover, yeah. It's expensive.
Are they English?
Yes.
See, English,
Still
they
are.
should never, they should
Jaguar
be
and-
barred from the world market making cars.
I'm going to laugh about it because it's the only thing I can do at this point.
Oh my God! Is it
all right,
still?
so I have one last.
I had an MG
one
that I
last
loved.
An MG? Yeah, everybody loves them, but they're pieces of crap. Go ahead, Tom.
Yep, they are.
What were you
All right,
gonna
so
say?
I got the loaner that they gave me, another Discovery, and when I picked it up 3 or 4 days ago, it did not have a cracked windshield. It now has a cracked windshield.
Oh, you're screwed.
Do you have any idea if I'm going to be responsible
Well,
for that?
if
Do
you
have
have,
experience in
if
that area?
some of your own insurance will fix that, or
right.
But if you don't have it, they're going to charge you.
Well, regardless, he's responsible.
Right. So I'll run it through my insurance then. Yeah.
Man, I'm
some
getting
insurance
insurance
hammered on
does
this.
carry
Only
over.
if they say something.
How bad is the crack?
It's about a foot long coming out the bottom. There's no neck. It's not like it was hit with a rock. It's coming right out of the bottom right corner, and it goes about 12 inches.
You know what, bro? The Land Rover gods hate you.
They do.
I'm
an American from now.
Oh, I know you don't necessarily have to go American, but man, but I also found out that a lot of high-end SUVs now, made by, even the German ones we think are so good, that like Mercedes and Beamers, they're better than Land Rover by a long shot, but they're going to turn into maintenance nightmares too. And and we were just talking about longevity. Tom, call us back and let us know what they do for you. But Kevin, as we're talking about longevity, then what can you buy that's luxurious, pretty, nice? How about, I don't think the Hyundai GV80s would have that problem, would they?
No, they wouldn't. No,
so
it's
you
very
see
low.
that? And and yet people will spend way more money on a Mercedes or a Beamer and end up with not as a good vehicle.
Some of those pricing, though, you're a little off on. Some of those, like that GV80, that thing's, it's close to $100,000 fully decked, man.
Yeah,
It's up there. It's up there. Yeah.
But okay. I think dollar for dollar, the Beamer and the Mercedes is going to be more, and the GV80 is going to give you more. I know I price everything.
Sure.
I think they're way more.
Just in maintenance
Well, they
alone.
used to be way more. Maybe they're not anymore. I don't know. But it just seems like it's getting harder and harder to justify the higher prices when Japanese makers of Toyota and Hyundai and Honda have such wonderful vehicles.
They do. Well, Lexus is there. It's Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same engineering.
And so all of those are just great cars, and they're usually less expensive.
It's getting the same way with a lot of stuff, man. I bought a TV for my home studio. It was like $89. I don't know what brand it is. It's a Walmart brand. It's
Let me
like
tell you,
4
man.
letters.
So I saw 75-inch TV. Now, did they?
Yeah, that's it. Shannon just said it.
Did they get any bigger than 75-inch?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. They're 85 and 100.
100 easy.
Yeah.
120.
Oh, bull crap.
No, they do. Costco advertises them all the time.
Okay, so I saw some of these TVs, and the prices were so reasonable. I went home looking for a place to put one. I don't even need one. I went looking for one.
Well, it's
Then one
interesting,
day
Tom.
I walk in. We bought giant monitors for our computers in our office here, iHeart office. I walk in one day and mine's making funny faces and pixelating, and it looked like a rainbow. It was terrible, and I said we need to get this fixed. Mark says chuck it. Yeah, just chuck it. They're not even worth having anybody look at them.
I remember when now we're going back 2015. He had this toolbox downstairs. Remember, we used to have that office downstairs. And he had a cool toolbox. I mean, I'm not going to say it was massive, but it's something a technician would have.
And it was organized.
And it was very organized, and it was all cables. So I needed a cable.
Oh, my God.
And I figured, okay, I'll go over there and get one. I opened it up. The dude's got cables that haven't been made since like 2000. I couldn't believe it. He had remember those old printer cables with the big clamps that would go down on the side?
Yeah.
They were like 8,000 pin. He had like 500 of them. I'm like, why the hell would you have one of these?
Just in case.
But
Tom,
going to his TVs and doing stuff, that's what Tom does.
Yeah, but I'm not anymore. I mean,
Very organized hoarder.
But I have gotten to a point now where I only keep stuff that I know I'm going to reuse. Like, for example, those 3-prong power cords that go to computers, they go to printers, they go to chargers, they go. So I'll keep a few of those, and I'll keep some USBs, and I'll keep some stuff or some HDMI.
When will you get rid of all the lightning cables that you had?
Yeah, that's the problem with Mac, with Apple. They change all that crap. But in any case, I do get rid of some of that, for sure. But it's impossible to keep up with technology.
Well, you know what's amazing, Tom? I went to look at some TVs. The QEDs were like $600 for 65-inch. The OLEDs were $1,000 more on every brand.
We once did an analysis on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can control the lighting in your room and the atmosphere, the environment, you don't really have to buy that expensive one.
No, that's the guys even told me that.
Yeah.
Unless you have a home theater in a totally dark room, you don't need an OLED.
And well, the OLED also is better in bad conditions.
It's smooth too.
Yeah. We have more coming up.
But the QLEDs are fine. You really can't tell the difference. Unless you're some kind of audiophile.
Let's see here. God, I'll never forget all those cables you had.
One should talk.
It's a little dot matrix printer cables.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
God, isn't it funny how we went from those? Think of how many pins are there. The pinouts are crazy, 25 to 48.
Yep.
To one little USB.
Well,
that not only is that much smaller, it's 1,000,000 times faster.
And laser printers now are so affordable.
Yeah.
I think they always were because the
No,
ink,
they weren't.
No, but the ink costs so
Oh.
much. You can give me a free inkjet, and the laser was still cheaper.
Haas. Six strips of bacon.
American Restoration is the company you should call if you have a property catastrophe. What is a property catastrophe? Ready? A fire, even a fire in the neighborhood with smoke and ashes you might have, or a broken pipe, a flood, a weather-related emergency, maybe an unintended death, something where you discovered black mold, or maybe you discovered asbestos. Listen, all of these things can render your property dangerous. American Restoration can come in and do the job right. And here's the most important thing. They have the EPA certifications, the insurance, the bonding, the knowledge, and everything that you need to get your house put back together. Please don't let your insurance company pick the company for you. Get American Restoration 24/7. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. Now, Lazy Days is your RV authority, and they are advertising on Car Friday because that's a vehicle, and you need to know where to go to get it fixed. Exit 240 and I-25 right on the frontage road. It used to be Century RV. It is now a Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont, and it's exit 240. You can fit anything in those garages, and they can fix anything. So if you're having a problem with the living quarters or the engine and drivetrain, any part of it, LazyDays.com. Remember, your RV authority, LazyDays.com. Okay, pizza's here, guys.
Pizza! You want a slice, babe?
No, thank you.
Sure.
should have said Kevin.
Yep, honey.
I just don't forget the motto. It's Beth_Marlowe at HomeDepot.com.
Sweet.
And that's her phone number.
All right, I'll add it.
She's a great contact.
Perfect. Thank you.
And she's very willing to help.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. All right, we have open lines. You can give us a call. Anything car-related or anything at all, of course. We love anything that you want to talk about. A problem, a question, or a complaint. Okay, Tom, we love, this is a text, we love our Range Rover. Okay. I have questions for you, so you should call. For example, how many miles on it? How old is it? And does it give you any trouble at all? Do you just love it because of the way it looks? I think no one can say over a long period of time that they have had good luck with a Range Rover. It just doesn't happen. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, something else to talk about. This appliance repair, I said, I would have a name and number. I want to caution everyone, not because they're bad, they're good. They're not on the referral list. I don't have any power over this. We just happened to call them because it was one of the few companies that dealt with a Thermador refrigerator, and it was on a Sunday. So this guy comes over on a Sunday, and the refrigerator was at 60 degrees and the freezer was at 50. It's obviously not working. The refrigerator, it's a Thermador, going up on 20 years old maybe. I'm thinking compressor, and it's a Sunday. This guy comes to the house and says, these compressors can last forever, just take care of them. And Doc, your phone is ringing and talking. In any case, how many years has this been that this has been going on? Mark, how many years has it been? Anyway, so we have this guy come in, and it's a Sunday, and he does stock compressors for Thermadors because they do all the high end. And if he would have said, you need a compressor, we would have done it without question. 20 years old, no refrigerator, we need it. He says, oh, you know what? It's just the starter, just the capacitor, whatever, the starting relay capacitor. There's all kinds of different terms for it. And what that is a capacitor builds up a charge to start that heavy motor because that's all you need to know. And then, so it starts it, and then once it starts running, it disengages. It's a starter. So it was $182 on a Sunday. On a Sunday, $182 fixed. As I said, this is a guy that could have put us together. I would have done anything. And so, but somebody wanted to know about the truth about this profile. He does GE profile. He might be able to repair things. Who knows? Anyway, it's called, now again, he doesn't have a website that I can find. So I'm giving you this only because it was an experience I had. I am not saying he is the best in the world. I'm saying what happened with me. So don't call me with complaints. Well, you can call me, but don't blame me. Apex Tech, APEX. Now, Mark tried Googling it, and you didn't find any phone numbers or anything, right, Mark? So
no, there's a software company that is the same name.
Yeah, it's not that. And it's appliance repair, Apex Tech.
I think it's funny how you're shocked you weren't ripped off.
Yes, isn't it terrible?
It is. In today's day and world, it is funny how we all react to where when something that should have happened happens and we didn't get kicked in the nuts and we are like, oh, good going, company. But all they did, what was normal years ago.
You're 100%
We've been retrained to really just, I don't know. It's a horrible way of life right now.
I'm going to give you this guy's number. Ready? It is 720-980-4609. 720-980-4609. And if you tell him Tom Martino told you to call or anything, he won't even know who I am because I don't even think we exchanged names. I mean, I asked him for his, and I don't think he knew or cared where he was. He was just a good guy. So, unbelievable. Okay, so today is Car Friday. If you have a car problem, if not, that's fine too. We can do any problems that you want at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
You know, her dad, that Fanny, her dad was a Black Panther too. That's so far behind my time. Back then, were Black Panthers
badass?
But what were they like? Who were the people that did the subway and they'd kick the shit out of people, trying to mug people?
Black Panthers were violent, but they weren't violent like for no reason. They were violent for their causes.
Yeah.
They weren't just thugs. I mean, not really. I guess people would call them that.
Well, they weren't rioters or anything like that. Yeah.
No.
You're thinking Guardian Angels.
No, Guardian Angels wouldn't kick the shit out of anyone.
Yeah.
Unless they were mugging someone.
They're vigilantes.
New York City?
They enforce the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't break any laws.
No.
Well,
nowadays they might. I don't
they
think
actually never did. They only held people for police.
They helped them with their broken arm. Hey, he fell down in the subway. Whoops.
RKC Automotive. RKC Automotive is the place to go if you have some maintenance or repair issues. We're happy to have them join our family of car experts. And Ramondo, he loves giving value for any kind of service, maintenance, and repairs, including he can do electrical too. And he also says, listen to this, with every car, what I'll do is a complete inspection at no charge, so you don't ever have something come up that surprises you. Now, of course, if you don't, he'll never recommend something you don't need either. 2120 West Evans. That's on Evans, just west of Tejon. 720-749-3965. You can find them on Facebook, RKC Automotive in Denver. That's 720-749-3965.
Did you not hear us telling you to start?
I was totally ignoring that if you were trying to tell me that.
I told you she could hear you.
Now, what happens if the theme song started and neither of us were here and it went all the way through to the end? You wouldn't start?
I guess eventually I will.
Hey, Pamela? Yes. Are you moving in?
No, they don't have my something wrong with the stove, so it won't pass inspection.
What was the matter with your? What was the matter with your apartment that you had? What was the problem?
The problem I had is because they still don't know if that apartment has asbestos in it from the cracks.
I sent.
Oh, okay. From what?
About Jay's spots.
Yeah.
She said including adlets. I don't know.
Yes. Adlets are 5-seconders.
Try to get it done today. If not, I'm gonna have to wait till Monday.
All right, but originally what caused the asbestos in your original apartment? Was it a flood or a water leak or what?
No, it was a drunk driver drove through my bedroom window.
Oh, that's right. Okay, thanks, Pam. Let me know what happens.
Okay, thank you.
You guys got any water? No.
Yeah.
I'll get it. You don't have to get it.
Please. I didn't even know you didn't have any. Let me grab it for you.
Make it snappy.
I watched this video. Guy, he calls it 0 to 400 wings.
What?
0 to 400.
0 to 400.
So you got on your pellet. First, you prep all your wings, however you're going to do it, marinade, brine, whatever you're deciding to do. Don't start the grill. Oh, thank you. Sure. Don't start your smoker until all the wings are on. Start it, set it for 30 minutes.
0 to 400.
Goes after 30 minutes, come back, flip them. You're done.
How long do you keep them flipped after 30?
30.
Oh, so 1 hour.
1 hour.
0 to 400.
0 to 400 is the temperature.
So no pre-warm.
No pre-warm. Don't heat it up. Don't.
You know what I'll tell you what.
Smoke, you get all kinds of stuff.
Not only the extra smoke, the other thing it does have pre-warm. That's where it's actually getting to the room temperature to start the smoke, even though you already started it.
Yep.
And you're right, that smoke will stick to that wet skin.
Yep.
Did you try it?
No, that's one I was going to try to play with this weekend.
0 to 400. We'll do that this weekend. Maybe
Seems
not
easy
wings.
enough. I mean,
I love chicken.
I do. I like chicken a lot.
You ever had ostrich?
Once.
I never had it.
Very lean. Very lean.
Yeah, so they were on, what is that chef one we watch with Ramsey now? The one with the 3.
Next Level.
Next Level, so.
I saw that last night. They had the girl did an ostrich.
Ostrich, but what she did that was interesting. She added butter for the fat, and I was like, that shit must be lean.
It's extremely lean.
I mean,
I love that.
With Toyotas, Kevin, why don't they make the FJ anymore?
I don't know.
The
I
best
think it
fucking
just-
car.
Probably didn't sell a lot of them.
It looks so beautiful. They can't keep them in stock, any used ones. They're gone.
That's probably why, though.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and Dave, and then Bob. Dave, what's going on with a car?
Yeah, I got a 2016 Mazda CX-5, and so I got 80,000 mile tires on there. I probably got about 60,000 miles right now on the tires, but it really developed a rough ride. I don't know if it's the tires or struts or any idea what I might check out to see if I can get that ride back.
When was the last time they were balanced?
Yeah, 3-4 months ago.
Oh, okay. So the rough ride, you feel a vibration on the highway? Or?
And it was all of a sudden?
Well, I mean, we've kind of noticed it getting rougher over the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's
Really?
just,
Over a year? Could it just be a component in his front end?
Any of the suspension components, the shock struts, things like that, they're designed, for that 6 to 8 year window. So he's right in there. You probably need some struts or some attention to other things. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had?
checked.
When was the last time you had your front end checked for all of those different components?
Maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably where I'd
Bring
start.
it over to Kevin. I mean, just getting the alignment done.
Or he can look at it for sure. And Bob, if you have an issue with Frontier Airlines, Bob, we're taking a short break, and I'm going to come right back to you. I'm Tom Martino. Stick around for more on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-TALK. And don't forget 303 Martino.
Isn't Mark our Frontier expert?
Mark? Oh.
I do know more about Frontier than probably anybody on the planet.
Well, he flies them more.
No, the strange part about lean meats, though, Mar, I always wonder why people go for this lean stuff and then put bacon on it to get the fat back in it. It's just like, why not just...
Lean meat sucks.
Start out with something different. That's why I don't like breasts that much.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. At all.
But I'll brine chicken breasts, and then they're moist and juicy. Yeah. Brine them for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Well, okay, if I fry them, I like them.
Sure.
The only meat Stephanie would eat is white chicken, only if it's cooked so it doesn't resemble food. When she
won't have a steak?
Hell no, ever.
How about lobster?
No.
But she wants that chicken dead.
She'll have salmon or haddock or fish or chicken. But you know what? When we go out, if she gets a chicken meal and I look at it and it looks good, I say, Steph, you're not going to like it.
How about pasta?
Well, no, she doesn't eat carbs. But she really will look at it and I'll say, oh, that's too juicy. She likes it cooked to death, where it doesn't have flavor.
I mean, the steak or the chicken?
Steak she won't eat at all, but chicken. She won't white
She
chicken.
won't eat red meat at all.
Never, ever.
See, my girlfriend's kids.
Never seen her.
I'll be cooking up some real nice steaks. And then, at Costco, you get like 4 in a pack or something.
Yeah.
So we'll have an
She doesn't
extra.
eat sausage. She doesn't
so-and-so's
eat pork.
coming over for dinner. I'm like,
The only meat
So I
I've
gotta
ever seen
pull
her eat
mine
was
off
chicken.
and leave hers on.
That's the only thing I've ever seen her eat, white chicken.
Yeah. But
Or
make sure-
turkey.
But it can't have any pink or any juice.
No,
or anything.
none.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yep.
No skin either.
Yep.
It's like, I that's what I tell her. If it looks like food, she doesn't want it. I like everything raw and juicy and fatty.
But
And,
not chicken. You don't like it when it's...
well, no, you can't
Well,
have
not
chicken.
red, but I mean a
But
little
I like
pink
chicken. I like dark meat chicken. You know what? I still love fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like the thighs.
I do too.
I do the thighs and legs only. That's all I
That's
do.
why it's good.
The original recipe.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's so juicy.
Well, most of them brine their chickens.
Look at how he looks. What is that look he's got? That like.
He's trying
it's
to read
always
his
furrowed.
He's
in
trying
it.
to read his teleprompter.
Right.
It
I'm
looks
telling you,
painful, doesn't
the
it?
guy
Doesn't he
loo-
look pained?
He looks...
He looks more pain when he starts walking and turning.
But just say ice cream and he smiles.
That's all you got to do. When he's reading the teleprompter and you want to get him, you just yell out, "Ice cream!"
I still don't
He'll
think...
turn around and start walking.
I still don't think he needs a speech to the nation about an internal Russian affair.
God, why is that bothering you?
Because
it gives him the opportunity to push for the fucking funding for Ukraine.
They've already approved that.
No, they
They did. They
not.
passed the
The House,
95.
the Senate did. The House did.
Yeah. No money for them.
Wonder what that ruling's going to be in that civil trial.
It'll be curious, man. That judge is just like, he's got to wish he fucking...
He hates him.
He's got to wish he never showed up, man. It is so fucked up, though. She really was dating the guy she hired and then
no,
wrote
we're
a
talking
check.
about the civil. No, we're talking about the one for
one in New
fraud.
York?
Yeah, the fraud.
Oh, God, I don't
The
know.
one that Letitia James, is that her name, brought?
I don't know, man. They're so fucking mad.
And that's the one where I was talking to
I
an
can only
attorney-
keep up with one a day.
I was talking to our attorney, Kilroy. He was saying, there's no victim. The banks didn't complain. No, everyone got paid back. Everyone made money. There was no victim whatsoever.
Well, okay, you could say that. Just I'm arguing the other side. You could say that about a speeding ticket. You could say that about prostitution.
Mark, this was not a speeding ticket. This was not breaking a law. This was a civil suit brought by the prosecutor.
I know.
saying
I get it,
that
man.
he got preferential treatment. And not one banker said he did.
I
nor
agree.
were they bothered by it.
And he paid back every nickel.
So,
Well, maybe
but
they'll find him innocent.
where are the losses? He didn't cause anyone any. He said he got preferential treatment. Well, I got news for you. Every fucking billionaire gets preferential.
Yeah, they all do. Yeah. They land their jet on the roof.
Do
They
you
get-
think it mattered if he valued one property at 130 million instead of 89 million? Nobody gives a shit. Everyone does that. When they do their spreadsheet and their net worth, they always fudge values because it's your interpretation. Like on a spreadsheet that you have to submit for shit.
It's just going to go to the
value
next
of
level.
the value of your assets. You put down what you think.
It'll end up at the Supreme Court. I mean, it's just not even going to matter in this case. In that one.
You think he'll appeal it?
Oh, the second it happens.
They already ruled he can no longer do business in New York. What the fuck does that mean?
I have no clue.
Or that I'm sorry, he committed fraud, which carries that penalty. I mean, what will happen to his hotels and stuff?
Well, this is all new ground. This is nothing tested yet. But you're right, Mark. It's going to be years, centuries before they end up.
And with the
But
court
that's
the
just
way it is now, how could they possibly? How could $380 billion? Get the fuck out of here. Or a million? No, what was it? $380 million.
Yeah.
And then how about the $80 million to that woman? And remember, New York opened that law up again just so she could reopen her case against Trump. How fucking crazy is that?
She hasn't seen a nickel yet.
No.
How long ago was that assault?
25 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
New York literally opened up a new 1-year window just for her to go after Trump. The window's already closed. If you did something like that or anybody to someone, whatever it is, 15 years ago now, whatever the statute reads, that window has been closed. That's how fucking crazy it is.
They did it just so she could go after him.
Exactly.
Because 25 years is against every. How can you even defend yourself after 25?
You can't.
Well, isn't that what they did with Kavanaugh? Wasn't it like 20 years ago when he was in college?
But that was just talk.
That was
Yeah.
That was yeah.
No, but I'm saying that, but they brought that up when he was 20 years old.
Well, the Democrats did because
Yeah.
they didn't want him in there. So
Right.
they just take-
I really thought the Republicans were going to fuck that up. I really did.
They tried.
To fuck what up?
The Kavanaugh.
Supreme Court, Kavanaugh.
Not just Kavanaugh, the other one, the woman. Get the fuck out of here. It's a woman in these. Whatever. What do you say?
What matters?
If you don't think people should be able to get an abortion at 9 months, then you just fucking that's your problem. I mean, that's where it comes down to. That's why they didn't like her. And in Colorado, I was arguing this with my mother, but then I shut up because Suzanne's told me, don't argue with your mother. You know, in Colorado, it's up to when you give.
Website, pay. That's pay. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have who's gonna help the common man?
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This is the only show of its kind, really, where we take everyday aches and pains, those things that tick you off or make you tick. Don't forget to call 303-MARTINO. Spread that around. They can call anytime, day or night. Let's talk to Bob. He has an issue with Frontier. Bob, what's happening?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
It's the first time I've ever called you.
What's going on, man?
So my wife and I are going to Cancun in April, and we picked Frontier to be the carrier to get us there. I got a flight I arranged in December to travel there on April 6th at 1 p.m. and then come back on April 13th. I got an email from Frontier on the 13th of February, a couple of days ago, saying that they changed my outbound flight. Instead of leaving at 1, it's now leaving at 6:30 a.m. And it told me my options are to sign up for that, or it says the flight on April 6th has been disrupted. You will review options. So I look at the options I get. 6:30 is the option they tell me to go to. I click on that, and then they gave me only options that were overnight options, 15 to 30-hour duration flights.
So wait, the only option, what if you just take the earlier hour?
What date? Give me that date again, man. I'm looking something up.
But I want to ask you something. What if you just took the earlier hour on that day? Would you be okay?
I would be okay. But when I click the button to accept that, it goes to another page, pops up, and gives me flights that are at least 15 hours long.
I understand that, but that's not what I'm asking. I am asking if it's still an option to simply take the earlier time they originally proposed.
Not in the way that they let me choose.
So in other words, when you say they changed the April 6th flight, they changed it from the afternoon to early morning. You now can no longer take that early morning flight.
Well, I'm not finished with my story.
What's that? I can't get an answer on that, or what?
I think what he's saying is the early flight has a lot of layovers to it.
Is it? Is that true? The earlier flight is not the same duration.
The earlier flight is 4 hours, and that's fine. I'd be happy with that, but they're not letting me select that.
Why? That's what I want to know. Why, if they changed your flight and said, if you don't want it, then you have to make other arrangements. But I thought they just changed it to that.
They did change it. I accepted it, and I went to accept it, and then they said, select one of these 4 flights. These 4 flights have 15
Okay, no, I get
hours
it.
of layover.
So they really did not offer you that earlier flight of 4 hours.
Well, I think they did. I just think he's doing something wrong because that flight's still available, and it is the only flight that's direct that day.
Are you sure? Okay. I mean, we can call them. Are you sure you can't get that flight that day?
No, I can.
Well, then why are you telling me you can't? Bob, listen, I understand what you're saying. You don't think I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, but you keep changing your story. I just want to know, can you do that 4-hour flight for earlier in the day?
I had to call them to get that to be available to me. I could not get it on my computer.
Okay.
And I ended up calling a company that was called PCM Travels, which I don't know who they are, but PCM Travels got me onto 6:30 flight in the morning. And then they charged me $398 more.
Okay. Listen.
So this was
Bob, I don't think, listen, if you didn't accept, you're telling me there was no way to accept the flight that they offered you.
Not on my computer, correct.
I will guarantee you there was.
But I'm not understanding. So then you reached out to somebody else and you purchased
Why
that
didn't you
one way?
Why didn't you call Frontier?
You can't.
Frontier doesn't have a phone
That's right,
number
you're right.
anymore.
That's
what
right.
you call is a third party. And the third party was PCM Travel.
No, there is no.
No, hold on. Frontier doesn't use a third party.
So you bought a ticket through whoever. So where do you stand now?
He had to spend more money. How much more money?
I spent $398, and I had to pay PCM Travels to get me on the 6:30 flight.
Well, hold on.
I could not.
Oh,
do
wait. Whoa. You just said two things. You spent $398 more, plus you paid PCM.
No, sir. I paid PCM $398.
Okay. They If Frontier truly, here's the way I'm hearing it. You got an email saying, "Hey Bob, we changed your flight. It's no longer leaving at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, whatever. It's now leaving at 6 in the morning, and and accept it here." And when you tried to accept it, you couldn't.
Correct.
Well, you can get a refund from Frontier.
I'd like to go to Cancun on April 6th.
No, you're missing, man. You just rebought the tickets through RPC or RCP, whomever.
He's saying you can get for your original April 6th
ones.
For your original Frontier ticket, you can get a refund.
Just get a refund and fly on Southwest.
No. It's too late. Listen, don't complicate things. Here, Bob, here's what we're saying. If you have a ticket now for April 6th, you now have 2 tickets. One you can't use. So why not get a refund for now that Frontier one you can't use?
I don't know if I have 2 tickets. I'm not sure of that. I think PCM.
What do you think happened to the
acting as a
other
travel
ticket that you paid for? What do you think happened to it?
Well, if I go to Frontier, I see that my itinerary shows me on the 6:30 flight. So I think PCM acted as a travel agent.
No, I think not. Here's what I think happened, okay, Bob? I don't think you had to accept. Honest to God, here's what happened. They told you they changed the flight, and if you did not want it, you could make other arrangements, and you clicked that link. I think you were automatically put on that earlier flight, and that's the only way it would show up on your Frontier itinerary. It would not show up through a third party. You bought an extra ticket because you did not understand that. Bob, I'm sorry, but that I had it happen all the time where they reschedule your time. You don't opt in for that. They say, "We have changed your departure time." It's done. Okay? You have the ticket and it's done. They say, if this does not meet, or if you want to make other arrangements, click here. Then you click there, and that's why you were presented.
okay.
That's why you were presented with the other options. And you mistakenly thought you could not accept what they offered. That was already accepted by default, and you were only to click that link to pick something else. You then went and called PCM and got another ticket. Can you get a refund from PCM?
I can cancel my credit card payment, I think.
Well, but what would you do? Would PCM accept? Can you call PCM and cancel?
I can call PCM. I don't know if I can cancel.
Well, try to. But if you call your credit card company, they're not going to, you're going to have to lie to cancel it because they're going to say you made the reservation.
Yeah.
Bob, I'm sorry about this, but Frontier's not responsible for this. Neither is PCM. I mean, you kind of just didn't understand what was going on, unfortunately. Listen, I have it happen where they change our flights and we're automatically booked on the flight they changed it to, yet they give you a link to change it to another flight.
It's funny, if you Google, and anybody out there can do it, PCM Travel, scammer.info, airline impersonators. That's the first thing that comes up about these people.
Yeah.
So they had them convinced that they were part of Frontier.
Yeah, so you probably got scammed, Bob. I would cut off payment on that credit
Bob,
card.
here's what I do. I would call up your credit card company, say you saw the charge on there, and you have no idea what it is.
Do not get into these weeds. Don't even bring up Frontier. Say, we are traveling. We bought tickets directly through Frontier. I have no idea what PCM is, what they do, nothing to do with it whatsoever. That's how you do it. Then they're going to send you a new credit card. Then what you need to do is get into chat with Frontier and get on the right plane.
He's already on. They already booked him on it. It's on his
I think
itinerary.
That's through the PCM, though. I think PCM sold him new tickets, man. I think he's got two sets of tickets.
Yes, he does have two sets. And the original set, I believe they changed his time to 6:30.
That part I don't know, but you better verify it and get on that plane.
Obviously, you want to verify it. But Bob, he said he went into Frontier and his itinerary shows those flights. If he had gone out and made a third-party ticket, it would not show up on that itinerary. That itinerary...
Dude, I'm telling you, he's got 4 tickets
No, I know
now.
he does. Or maybe he didn't buy the 12th. But he does have more tickets than he needs. But I think he has his original or Frontier tickets.
I know he does, because they're not going to refund him unless he requests it.
So, Bob, it's a mess, man. And you know what? Airline travel is a mess. And this idea of Frontier never taking phone calls anymore, is this the stupidest thing you've ever...
I don't know, man. Facebook's done it. Google's done it. They all do it.
No, Google will still schedule calls for you.
Maybe if you're spending money with them.
No, I mean, they do. And Amazon does.
I know Amazon does.
Google helped me for that drive issue, Mark.
So what would you rather do? Call up and talk to someone that barely speaks English. Nothing happens for 4 or 5 hours, and I don't care if it's DirecTV, Dish Network, Comcast, anything. So you go through all that, you go through all the headaches, and you end up nowhere, or you just simply can't contact him in the first place. I could argue that either way.
Well, it sucks. And again, they don't normally tell you they've changed the time and you have to accept it. They change it, period. And now you have a ticket for the new time. They give you the option to change that one. So you do have 2 tickets for the plane leaving 6:30 in the morning. I would cancel the PCM ticket because I think that's what happened. So how did you, out of curiosity, Bob, how did you get the number for PCM? I want to keep people from having the same problem. How did that happen? When you clicked through Frontier and got frustrated, tell me how did you find PCM?
Probably Googled Frontier phone number.
No.
What did you do?
Well, that's one. So, no, I have an app called Get Human. And I've used that a bunch of times to talk to somebody in person. And it tells me the Frontier Airlines has nobody to answer that number. And then it gave me another number to book a flight, and that's the number I called. Since the
Did they give you the impression that they are Frontier?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard. This is a common mistake. That's why I would have no qualms. I would have no qualms about getting them
Don't
canceled.
get into the weeds with your credit card company. Don't say anything except I have no idea. I didn't do this. It's nothing to do with me.
Go screw yourself. I don't want them.
Less is more.
They put the okie doke on them, man. And here's the funny part.
That's exactly what happened.
You figured that out. Yeah, they
just
just changed.
I remember when they do it to us, they change. The only time you click is if you don't want that.
Don't want it. Yeah.
You don't have to accept the new time.
Well, they generally right there, if it's more than, I think, 2 hours, they can offer you a refund too.
They probably did too.
They probably did. What's funny is if you go to their site right now, that flight's $130.
Really?
Yeah.
So just cancel all of them. Start over.
His original one was probably around there too.
From Denver to Cancun's $130.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's cheap.
Yeah. If you like Cancun.
Yeah. I like Cancun. Haven't been in a while.
I'm just not mature enough to go down there. all you can eat and all you can drink and endless stuff is just. You shouldn't.
It sounds great. It's
you
coming
shouldn't
up
be
soon.
drinking bourbon for breakfast.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Well, maybe not bourbon,
Beer.
but tequila and orange juice.
It's acceptable, Kevin. In
Well, and
Mexico,
then you go over to breakfast.
no one
at-
looks at you funny.
No, they don't. It's cool. You know, and you just.
It's
really,
it's the only place you can crack a beer at 6:30 a.m.
Yep.
And you're not the only one cracking a beer.
Yeah. Now, this one place we went, in fact, it was with, used to be Checker Auto Parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had a trip that we qualified for. So that's when I had first met my girlfriend. She came with me for that. But every stop, because they have these little golf carts that take you all over the resort.
Yep.
And every little stop, there's a guy with a bar with
Anything you
with
want.
100 different kinds of everything. Yeah.
So we're doing Cabo, which I think I like a lot more. But we're doing the Hard Rock for 5 nights, and then the Waldorf for 5 nights. But the Hard Rock is like that. We got the, what's it called? What's the
Rock royalty.
We're rock royalty,
So
man.
you get your band and you just flash your band.
So, Mark, have you ever had a Bloody Mary with vodka, with tequila instead of vodka?
I have never in my life had a Bloody Mary, nor would I ever drink tomato juice.
Why?
It's the devil's blood.
How about Clamato?
No, too close.
I like
Too
Clamato.
close to Chlamydo, and too close. Yeah.
Too close to chlamydia?
Yes, the whole thing is too close.
Hey, Clamato juice, I've never had, but it sounds good.
It sounds disgusting. It's clam juice and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love clam juice.
Make like gazpacho and stuff out of it. Chop up veggies and
Right.
stuff and put it in there cold.
At Ellis Island, they have. She got one of those Bloody Marys. It had fried chicken, shrimp, bacon. It had everything. It was a full
they
meal.
Make it like, yes.
So he's on next week. If you guys want to switch, Dan Kaplis is on next week.
You know, else is good with Clamato is a shrimp cocktail.
Possibly.
Yeah, that
What's
would be
that?
good.
Shrimp cocktail and Clamato.
Oh, Mark.
I'm out.
avocado and
Mark is
you know
on the
jalapeno and
Yeah, we're out right after the show. What do you mean if I can do it today?
You can't do it today.
I can't do it today. I would have done it with you when she asked.
Yeah.
No, we're meeting someone in Monument.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
I have this goddamn Oscar short at 4. That's the problem. I have to be late for that.
What is it? Oh, Oscar.
Stephanie bought we buy a ticket to see all the Oscar shorts.
Kelly?
You poor man.
I
No,
tried to
they're
call her
fast.
yesterday.
They're usually
That was the
pretty
wrong
damn
number.
good.
Do you remember when?
Shorts. Have you ever
What?
seen them?
I'll go.
I haven't watched.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the little movies?
Okay, well,
I've
that's-
seen some
I
of them
called
that
and
have
there was
kind of
nobody
went
named Ray
viral
there.
or whatever. Some of them are pretty good. Do you remember when they used to have the Aspen Comedy Fest? I went up there a few years. God, it was a blast. Saw Phil Hendry up there. I wonder why they got rid of that, man. That
What
was
the fuck is Henry doing?
He still does it. He charges $5 a month. It's all.
But do people really? Are they on there?
Yeah, he's doing pretty good as far as I know. I mean, I'm not a member, but
So it's just broadband. He just does internet.
I think he might be out of one station. But my guess is he probably buys the time. You know, he
God,
owns
he
it.
used to make me fucking laugh.
Oh, he's the best.
God almighty. But the
And the Jerky Boys from Jersey,
Jerky Boys.
they were really good too. Yeah, they'd call up and just fuck with people. Like, you know, if I wanted to get your goat on something, they would call you up and know just enough information to make it sound real and get you going like crazy. And then it would be like, Mark had us call you. But it's all on the air. You ever heard them?
I heard one little skit they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know your neighbor's having a problem with a roofer. So you would have them call up saying, you know, they're the roofer. And it's all, of course, that New Jersey accent.
Real
shit.
heavy New York gig.
The
New Jersey.
Philadelphia. There's no reason Mackenzie would have to go out for a beneficiary's deed.
Wealth.com.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So we have some texts here on the Toyota. Is it the TJ or PJ? Which one is that? He says
the FJ.
The FJ, yeah. I'm sorry. The FJ. So the Toyota FJ, are they made anymore? That was one.
I don't think they are.
I think we had this. I swear to God, I'm not on Google.
No, we did have it.
We had this conversation a few years ago, and I looked, and I believe it's still sold in other countries, but not in the U.S.
Okay, right here, the first look on YouTube of the new 2025 Toyota FJ Cruiser.
So they're coming back. Nice.
Wow. And you know what? Did they take away? They took away the looks. They took away the whole thing that made them attractive. I hate when they do that. You know what I mean? They just, it doesn't look anything like it used to look. And it kind of does. Never mind. It kind of does. But I think those things, they're going to be like incredible. What do you think they'll sell for? The 2025 Toyota FJ Cruiser. If you're a fan of the FJ, by the way, it was legendary, they said. They can't keep them in stock, the used ones. And I'm just wondering what they'll sell for. Kind of Google that while we're talking.
It says here, it's exactly what I thought. So as of April 2022, it is still sold in the Philippines, the Middle East, Chile, Southern Africa, and whatever custom union countries are. So,
but they are coming back to America. That's what we're told. The 2025. So when would that be out? In September? Does anyone know? I mean, because I'd buy one of those because then you'd have everything. You'd have longevity and everything.
I got one of those cyber trucks coming.
Well, so do I, supposedly.
I forgot you do.
We're on the list.
I
but
think this year,
are you going to pull the trigger on it, really?
Oh, I'll buy it if it was available today.
Yeah, but they didn't give a final price.
Well, I'm assuming it's under 100.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's bulletproof.
Literally?
Literally.
Well, God knows I need that. Is it really bulletproof?
It's bulletproof. I'm not saying every bulletproof, but I bet it could take a 38 and a 22, no problem. Might leave some dents.
So anyway, I'm Googling, is the FJ Cruiser coming back? And it says, yes, it will come back. It's coming back to America. And they say, oh, wait, then it says here, 2023 is the final one. So I don't know if that's just internet rumors or what. It says, then it says here, how much is a 2024? Mid $50,000 range? That sounds too cheap for that.
But they sell them, like I said, they still sell them in other countries. That's what you're looking at.
All right, well, see if it's coming back to America, Kevin. Since
yeah, I'm seeing the same thing you are. It's confusing, but I think you're going to have to import one to get one.
The South African version has an MSRP of 44.
That's pretty cheap for that car. I mean,
yeah, but that's in South Africa. That same vehicle over here, because of Bidenomics, is $98,000.
See, there he goes, blaming poor Joe Biden for everything. You know? Okay, I have a question, and I know that it's a bad deal, but because people don't like talking about it, no one talks about it, no one questions it, but the last 2 years, more young people have dropped dead from sudden cardiac events than in any other time in history.
Isn't that fentanyl?
No, it's not fentanyl.
The vaccine?
Well, I don't know. Why? I'm asking why. That's all I'm asking.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, you look it up. Sudden cardiac events for people in their 20s and 30s. I mean, athletes and young athletes. And I say athletes because they're always held up as the beacon of health. But why is this happening? Why are we having such sudden death?
I know you want to attribute it to the vaccine.
No, I don't want to attribute to anything. I'm asking why all of a sudden are we hearing about young people dropping dead? Okay? And I know you're a big flag waver for the vaccine. You think it's the most wonderful thing since sliced bread. You know what? it's the worst scourge on America, but go ahead. I know you've been boosted 16 times. In fact, as Dana Carvey says, you got to get boosted because once you get out to the parking lot, it wore off.
No, I think it's
Did you ever hear him? He goes, I got boosted 16 times. In fact, I get to the parking lot and they wear off.
I think it's because of drugs, Tom, because of the opioid and the fentanyl.
But don't you think they would say it's fentanyl? I mean, when these athletes drop dead, you think they're doing fentanyl while they're playing a game?
They also would say it's the vaccine if that was the cause. I think if the cause.
Oh, no, they wouldn't. They would never. No, never. You know why? Because first of all, they're not even investigating it. That not one adverse vaccine effect has ever been investigated. You can go to the adverse and you can report an adverse effect, and no one will record it, nor will they ever get back to you ever. For the first time in history, it's the only vaccine where they have never investigated adverse effects. Why is that?
No, it's the only vaccine you can get and still give it and still get it.
And 100, listen to this, 100% immunity. Now, when has that ever happened? Ever. 100% immunity. So my question, if it's so safe and so effective, why would you have to have 100% immunity? And by the way, this is not a Democrat or Republican thing because, as I remember, it was the Republicans who got it fast-tracked. So, I mean, you know, this thing, I don't care how you look at it, something happened, and people are still swearing by it. I wonder how many people are still getting it. I wonder how many people are still getting the shot.
I know quite a few that do. Yeah.
They really? Oh, well, they enlisted Taylor Swift and Kelsey to do the commercials for it. You know, oh, get your boost, get your boost.
Do you think I shouldn't have gotten it, Tom?
Look, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know I should.
No, but the point is, as sick as I was.
You have to make that decision because I'd hate to see something happen if I say, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I just don't think we're hearing the true, honest to God. The problem is with our media today, you will never hear the whole truth. And here's the other thing. The same sentence, the problem with our media today, you hear sometimes the most ridiculous news about it. Okay? On both sides, you either hear nothing from mainstream media or the most ridiculous news from extreme fringe media, like Alex Jones and the rest of them. I mean, so I don't blame people for being confused, but I don't think the answer is total silence. You know, I don't think it's ignoring it. At the same time, you can't believe everything in the fringe. I call it the fringe media. There's a lot of fringe right and left media, mostly right. I mean, totally fringe. I mean, you know, the ones who are accusing politicians of taking transfusions from babies, you know, to stay young. You not heard of that? Oh, come on.
God, you get your news from some
I'm not getting news.
Places.
I'm not getting news.
Like
I said it was
cells,
fringe.
Tom.
I don't believe it. What?
It's sort of like stem cells. That's the
basically
theory.
what it is. Yeah.
There's people out there that don't think Sandy Hook happened, but there's like 3 of them.
Marie has a comment. Go ahead, Marie.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hi. What's happening, Marie?
Hi. Well, I just wanted to tell you on this topic of people dying and why they're dying. I just recently went to 4 funerals 2 weeks apart.
Of what? Were they young people?
Some of them were young. Some of them were a little older. And each scenario was different. But I talked with, and my mom is really old too. We're kind of talking with the funeral home for her. But I was talking with some of the people at the funeral home about these deaths. And they told me that they have so many people that are dying. And the thing is you can't bury them the same day you have a funeral, because all the funeral burials were like the next week because they couldn't. You're backlogged like 3 or 4 weeks.
What do you think, Mary? Why do you think that we're hearing about so many sudden deaths from young people and this kind of thing?
I'll tell you why. Because they said, and when these people, the hospitals and these just regular people are finding their loved ones, they go to bed, they're gone the next day.
But do you have? I just wanted to know if you think of anything. And again, Doc says erringly, "Oh, I want to blame the vaccine." I didn't say that, but I will tell you this:
no, I didn't say you wanted to.
It's a hell of a coincidence that in the last 2 to 3 years this has spiked, hasn't it?
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Well, we're starting to see those early afternoon Friday slowdowns throughout the Denver metro. Downtown, a busy spot in particular. I-25 northbound showing speeds in the 30s and 40s between Alameda and Colfax. Southbound I-25, some congestion between I-70 and Spear. Just north of there, I-70 westbound, some busy traffic cropping up between Colorado and York. And for folks heading to DIA, I-70 eastbound, no major complaints out there. Pena Boulevard southbound, some crowding just after Tower Road. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. We saw some snow this morning for sure. Expecting more this afternoon into the night. High 39, overnight low of 18. The current temperature in Denver is 32 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Don't miss huge savings on better sleep during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. For a limited time, shop in store to score a Sleepy's Queen mattress for only $89.99. That's over 60% off and the lowest price ever. So hurry in today. This deal is only here while supplies last.
Zero Res Denver has a great deal this month. 3 rooms for $109 and a free hallway with that, along with 20% off all their other services. And they do a lot of other services like tile and grout. They do upholstery, and they do all kinds of cleaning, ductwork even. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to check them out. They use nothing but purified, electrified water, the best cleaning agent in nature. Man, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it does work. ZeroResDenver.com. Give them a call, 303-471-5150. You will love the way your carpets feel. No dirt-attracting residue. I call it really clean. 303-471-5150.
Mark, don't you think all vaccinations are forced, though? I mean, back in the day, you couldn't go to school without
not like this one though. You couldn't get on an airline. You couldn't go to a concert. You couldn't go to a sporting event.
Well, yeah, but you didn't. You could still do what you wanted to do, just not within groups of people. Sure, but you can still get in the car and drive cross country. You can do whatever you wanted. So,
but this one brought it to a new level, man.
Yeah.
What did?
Vaccines and
just COVID in general.
COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
That's when freedom of speech went.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many people got blocked for speaking out against it?
Or saying there was a lab leak.
Yeah.
There was this one nut on the radio, though, saying take vitamins and shit.
Instead of anything. Don't do anything else.
But they just take everything to the extremes. The what is the hydroxychloroquine or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the one guy saw it in his fish tank, so he snorted it and died or something.
You must be getting your news where you get it.
No, there was a true story. They blamed Trump for that. They did. But he saw the ingredients in his aquarium chemicals had hydroxychloroquine. So
I found some.
He thought it was the same thing or something, and I don't even know if that happened. But it was
but you can't fix stupid.
No, you
I don't
never
need
can.
this. But next time, no extra cheese. It makes it impossible to eat the regular.
God, you are kind of whiny, aren't you?
God,
no.
Jesus
God,
Christ.
jeez, man.
Mark, are you sending me that
I sent it to help.
We'll have to get one just for Mike. I'm just
Check. Kelly, okay, Tom's going to say he didn't do anything. It's going to be in fucking trash
Look
or
your spam.
everything.
A lot of our stuff's
Anything
going to
coming
spam
from
now.
Troubleshooter is spam now.
What are you talking about?
Any email coming to and from even us inside are all in spam.
And I haven't changed shit.
He thinks he's landing in the Middle East, this stupid bastard.
Palestine.
He's looking for Netanyahu. I didn't think I'd land in a war zone, but I have.
They say that the presidency, they take even younger presidents, it puts total strain on your body and your mental health.
Look at Obama, man. He ducked out quick, Jack. He was gone after his 8 years.
Well, it's got to be endless.
No,
You got to get some rest. He started hanging out
So
at that
why-
dude's private island.
Starting office at 81 or 82, starting your new term. Are you fucking?
I think somebody like Trump gets off on it because he loves turmoil.
Well, he's not starting it. He's 78.
But I'm just saying, I don't think it affects him.
But I
that
want
much.
to know.
But Biden's been in
What
government
about-
for 50 years. He's used
See,
to it.
Buttigieg, he would have been the worst president in history.
Oh, yeah.
The worst.
This is from the Medscape, which is a peer-reviewed site. It shows that the overall substance abuse and cardiovascular disease-related deaths increased from 10% to 22% in a 10-year period.
Yeah, but
So that's
they're not. I don't think wouldn't they say it was not one article is saying that these people were using drugs.
Well, this
Just
says
because people are using drugs doesn't mean that affects people that aren't using drugs. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, so 1 in 5 heart attack patients nowadays are between 20 and 30 years old. Think about that. 1 in 5. That was never, ever happening. Ever. Why is it happening? Sedentary lifestyle? That's what they're saying. And, you know, I'm tired of people saying it's fentanyl. They're not citing these people as being fentanyl addicts. They would say it was a fentanyl death. They're not overdosing. We're talking about athletes and young people just dropping freaking dead. So what is it? No one wants to address it. Now some of these people didn't even have COVID. Some did. So it's not COVID. What is it? What changed? What changed? What do you think it was? You know what you think it was. And again, I resent people thinking that I'm trying to say it's the vaccine. It could be. It could be. I don't know of anything else
You
major.
did bring up something. It could be COVID.
What else? Well, some of these people have not have COVID.
I don't think people now even know when they have COVID. How's that? I don't think you know.
And you understand that COVID-19 truly, okay, the symptoms and everything in and of themselves, there's some strange stuff that went on with that disease people don't understand. But are you suggesting, Mark, that it leaves a long-range mark? Do you guys have any?
I don't know. My father...
Do you have any?
No, I don't. Suzanne didn't have. In fact, it's still not 100%, but tell them. You know this.
What?
My
What?
taste and smell has been so.
Did your taste and smell
distorted.
come back?
Well, it came back distorted.
Really?
Yes.
Right now?
Dairy is still pretty bad for me.
One of the guys that works for me
twice a day. She won't eat yogurt anymore.
Car exhaust doesn't smell the same anymore.
Does Mark?
Diesel exhaust.
What about you,
one of the
Kevin?
guys that works for me is the same thing. He lost his smell completely. Starting to come back, but just distorted, as Suzanne said. He can smell certain things he can't smell.
And there's a lot of evidence for long COVID. And nothing to do with the vaccine.
No, I understand.
But people who have symptoms for a long period of time without
Mike,
resolving.
what's going on with you, Mike? Welcome.
Yeah, hi Tom.
Hey.
Appreciate you taking this.
Yes, sir.
So I have a daughter, and she's a thriving college student. I mean, she's a 4.0 student. She's amazing. But for the last few years, she's been diagnosed and has been struggling with a form of narcolepsy.
Wow.
And the situation is currently that she is on a drug that actually works for it. But it's an
And
expensive
Mike,
drug.
how old is your daughter?
She just turned 21.
Okay. And when did
So
she
she's
develop the narcolepsy?
She's probably had it since her mid-teens.
Wow.
But she was only diagnosed a few years ago.
Okay.
And her form is actually idiopathic hypersomnia. So basically, you can't get enough sleep. When you do sleep, you don't get into a normal sleep cycle. And you actually have things like sleep hallucinations, where you wake up and you're still almost in a dream state and you think things aren't there.
So does she, like, it affects her whole life, doesn't it?
It does. But there's a drug that works now for her. And she was close to getting it approved through insurance. And then 1/1 came along, January 1st. My company switched medical, insurance providers. So now we have to go through the approval process again. And it's frustrating because, there's denial after denial and more information. I just didn't know, and that's why I reached out to you as the expert. Is there a consultant, an advocate? Is there someone that helps in these situations?
You know what? That's a great question. I'd like to ask Integra Insurance about it. Hey, Kachina, let's get somebody from Integra on. Hold on, all right?
Can I pipe in something?
Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Hey, Mike?
Mike, go ahead.
What you can do, what I found, if you talk to whoever it was that prescribed the medication for her, ask that physician to contact the medical director of the insurance company. And I found when I was practicing, a lot of times when I asked to speak to the medical director personally and explained it, it cut through all the red tape. Now, I think if her doctor will do that.
Yeah, that's great advice because her physician's been great in trying to get this.
How expensive is it?
It's about $7,000 a month. That's what she would have to pay if she paid out of pocket.
Wow.
So try asking him to do that. All he can do is say no.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I definitely.
Now, what does the medication do for her? Out of curiosity.
Basically, it suppresses her respiratory system. So you literally sit down on the edge of the bed. You take the medication. Upon taking it, she literally goes unconscious. And then she takes a second dose. She's woke up by an alarm at 2 a.m., takes a second dose, and goes unconscious again, basically.
So it's like a sleeping aid. It's a sleeping aid.
It is. It's a heavy, heavy sleeping aid.
Sounds like fentanyl.
How long does it take her? Is it an inhaler?
It's not. It's a liquid that has to be mixed.
And as soon as she takes it, have you watched her? Does she boom, done?
I guess you have kind of a drunk feeling, and then you instantly basically sleep. But it knocks her into a sleep cycle that is more normal, so there's no sleep hallucination. She actually, after taking the 2 doses, when she wakes up, she's at the point where she feels rested and she can function. Whereas prior to that, the only solution is to literally use trazodone to go to sleep, and then take Ritalin upon waking up with another dose of Ritalin midday to stay awake longer.
Oh, my God. All right, hold on. We're going to try to get our expert on.
Suck. I didn't hear the initial part. Why is she on these medications?
Because she's got severe narcolepsy. But I found calling doctor to doctor worked for me when I was in practice.
God, that's horrible. Sometimes I feel like and I mean all of us in this room, complain about this stupidest shit.
No, I know.
And then you hear something like
I know.
that. Holy shit. True. Imagine your kid was like that.
No, don't want to.
I mean, I want to smack my kid around a lot, just like anybody, but holy shit.
I have 2 friends that are very rich, super rich. One of them has a kid who has severe CP, has been in a wheelchair and I wouldn't trade places for him. Another one of my friends has a kid who's totally crazy. He had to go to India because his kid wanted to become like a guru. They found him naked up in some tree in some place in India. And
that's one call I didn't get when Miles was in high school.
But who wants to have shit like that?
If you want a price on kitchen countertops, you don't have to go through a long sales meeting and presentation, although most companies make you do that. The Art of Granite will give you one on the phone. Just tell them what you want. The Art of Granite says granite, but they do any countertop, natural stone, any kind of natural stone, or man-made material. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom vanity free when you have the kitchen done. And they'll give you an estimate right now on the phone, theartofgranite.com. Thousands of satisfied customers. The Art of Granite, 303-386-5919, 386-5919. All right. Whose phone is that?
Noisies. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Bulletproof, huh? Yeah. You didn't know that.
Not the glass, just the.
I don't fucking know. It's just one of their.
I just think they're butt ugly though.
Oh.
I like
bullshit.
their ugliness.
I like the ugliness too.
Yeah,
Well, you gotta admit that
that's
they're
what
not-
I
they're
like.
not a-
I like
Yeah.
that it's that strange. Actually,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're right
It's
though.
strange.
It is weird, but I like.
I
it.
wouldn't say ugly, but weird's fine.
Yeah, the boxy, the windshield.
But
is like
I'm wondering though, when is it going to be available? Truly.
And they look like they're between 46 and 96. That's a hell of a spread.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I'll bet you there's
It's
3 motors,
There's going to be a plaid version.
an extra motor,
Yeah.
and probably long range. And
Well, I'll stick with the same thing. I'll get 2 motor long range. I care more about range than speed. They're already fast enough. None of that shit.
okay,
bothers me.
good. That's good to know.
They're supposed to have 500 plus miles.
Is it good for 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive?
God, it better be.
What?
John Sr. John Jr. is in a continuing education seminar all day, so he is unavailable.
Well, what about John
Sr.? He can't come on, he said.
Did he
But-
say why?
He probably doesn't know anything.
That's part of it. But he basically kind of intimated that John Jr. knows a lot more about the situation. But I'm going to give him their information because he wants to definitely help them off air. He liked Doc's suggestion. And so I'm going to do that if that's cool.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. Let me talk to him.
Okay. Yeah. And then just let him know that I'll give him Integra's info offline.
Home of Mado double murders. That was a weird one.
Yeah, but it's still not over.
How many people kill their wife and son?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, isn't it?
Wait, why did he kill his son? Is that guy, that red-haired guy?
Yeah.
Why would he kill his own son, though?
I never got into
See,
it.
notice I didn't say, why didn't he kill his
Well, you can understand the wife.
I'm sorry. I meant, why?
He had 2 sons. Why did he only kill one of them? How about the Menendez? Remember that one? The 2 kids.
The 2 brothers, yeah.
That killed the parents.
Did you see the story, the miniseries?
Oh, I didn't. No, I saw a news article.
It actually, Mark, was really good.
They came in the news in the last 6 months and said they were molested is why they did it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
That was in the miniseries.
Oh, it was in the miniseries.
Yeah, and it came out in court, too.
Oh, maybe it was one of their friends that came out in 6 months and said he was molested at their house, too. Something with molestation.
Huh.
That is the biggest ripoff you can ever find.
Look, historic reunion, Mr. Beatles.
There's no reunion. What, the 2 of them? Wait, there's not 2 of them. There's no one available. There's him. Or
And
Ringo.
Ringo.
Yeah.
Have they been on the outs?
I don't think so.
No.
So why would it be a historic reunion?
And
oh, maybe he's getting back with the talent, Yoko. We all know if it wasn't for Yoko, the Beatles would have been nothing.
You know, if Paul got together with Ringo, that wouldn't be any big whoop. I mean, unless they got John Lennon's son.
Was he ever in the band? No.
No, but his son's. Oh, and Harrison's son. They both looked exactly like their dads and sound like them. Too bad they didn't all have kids, and all the kids could start.
That would have been funny.
Because Harrison's kid's pretty talented. So is Lennon's. Both of his kids.
Does Ringo have a kid?
Not that I know of. I thought.
Radio, Denver's talk station, is available everywhere. Just download our free iHeartRadio app. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. So, Mike, here's the deal, bro. We have Integra Insurance off the air that can help you. They have continuing education today. Can't come on, but they said they've handled stuff like this before, but they like Deputy Doc's idea of having your doctor talk to their medical director and just cut through the red tape, see what can happen. Most
I'll
likely,
definitely have her do that today.
Who did you change from who to who?
We're with United Healthcare now. I believe we were Cigna before. And we tried to get this drug approved. It was like in November. So we basically just ran out of time, went through a couple denials, and then the first of the year hit, insurance changed. So we're trying again, have already been denied a couple times. It's just been very frustrating.
When they deny you, what do they base it on?
I've not read that documentation. I think I honestly don't know. I'd have to get it from my daughter. I don't know what they're denying.
How old is
Her
your daughter?
She's 21, and her physician's been a great advocate.
Oh, wait, we have John Jones Sr. on. Hold on a second. And Stan with the contractor, we will get to you too. Let's go to John Jones Sr. over at Integra Insurance. John.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Listen, when they switched plans, the approval for this drug went away, and they have to reapply. Is that uncommon or is that common?
That can be
That's not
common.
the case, Tom. We never got the approval under the other provider because the end of the year hit and we switched before we could get the approval.
Well, under the
still
other
working through it.
provider, how were you paying for it?
We weren't paying for it. What happened is the drug manufacturer has her under a program where she can get 90 days of the drug. for
Okay, I
free.
got it. Okay. So you were never approved for this drug, and in the middle of getting approved, you were switched carriers.
Because of the first of the year, exactly.
And now you're with who?
United Healthcare.
Is it hard, John, to get United Healthcare to approve a drug?
Can I ask you this, Tom? Is that group or is it individual coverage? Or
It's group.
It's group insurance through my employer.
Okay.
She's covered
And
as
the thing, and when you look, and I would assume, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your first name.
His name is Mike.
Hey, Mike, you've got to look, with the policy, of course, you've got to look at the evidence of coverage to see exactly what and how it's going to be covered. And have you actually filed an appeal yet?
We have, when we were just denied on an appeal.
So you were denied twice. Hold on, and we'll carry this over, and then Stan will take you as well.
Why does Frank Duran, the real estate man, get top value for the homes he sells?
Because I take the personal time. Every single listing I go on, I video the property. Then I study the film, I study the competition, and literally look at the strengths and weaknesses we have versus the competition. That's how we determine the peak price.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to use Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. With RE/MAX Alliance, 303-920-1622. That's 920-1622. Need RV service of any kind? See our friends at Lazy Days RV of Denver at Longmont. I-25 and exit 240, a half-mile south on Frontage Road. A new multi-million-dollar facility dedicated to repairs and maintenance, even bodywork and windshield replacements for all RV owners. Highly trained techs with an average of 14 years experience for the best purchase, service, and ownership experience. Multiple locations nationwide for your convenience. LazyDays.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Charles filed today in the Kansas City shooting at the Chiefs rally this week that killed one person and injured 22 others.
Two juveniles, as Jackson County, Missouri Family Court is describing them without giving their ages, have now been charged and are detained at the Juvenile Detention Center in Kansas City on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. The court saying more charges are expected. Because they are minors, nothing involving them will be open to the public. The exact charges and names are not being released. Police say it was a fight that led to the shooting. A third suspect was released, no longer believed to have been involved. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A judge in New York City could issue a decision today on whether former President Trump will have to pay damages in the civil fraud trial involving his businesses. Reaction today over the reported death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. He died while at a Russian prison. Russia says Navalny collapsed while out on a walk on prison grounds. The U.S. blames Vladimir Putin. This is ABC News. A mystery fossil turns out to be fake.
In 1931, it seemed to be a remarkable find. A 280 million year old fossil of a lizard, Tridentinosaurus antiquus, found in the Italian Alps. Scientists for decades puzzled at its well-preserved tissue on its limbs and tail. Now UV imaging giving them the answer. It's not skin, it's paint. But it's not a complete forgery. There was an actual fossil underneath, and the team did find the real remains of small amounts of bony scales from the lizard's back. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Brian Wilson is back in a conservatorship. The family said on an Instagram post that 2 people will share the role. The family also saying that they made the decision with Brian following the death of his wife, Melinda. She died earlier this month. The Beach Boys co-founder is reportedly suffering from a neurocognitive disorder. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter.
Damn, this
K-How News Time, 103.
2 people.
Is 1 to 3 model, Tom.
Is what is that?
It's a 1/3 scale model of a Bell Airwolf. And it really flies. I mean, it's a full deal. But it's a 1/3.
It's a remote control.
1/3.
Shit.
I mean, you could put a fucking dog in this thing. I thought they were going to say the Denver Zoo was taking in 130 migrants from Florida. Let me tell you, it's not far away where they cut the budget to the zoo and make room.
What is Microsoft Copilot? I mean,
that's AI. God, look at that thing. It's huge. Tell me that doesn't look like a real helicopter.
That's not.
No,
it's
it's
a remote control.
That's a fucking remote control helicopter.
Crazy.
That's got to be illegal to fly. I mean, it's so
You
big.
probably have to have a license like a drone. I'm sure it's got lights, everything else on it. It's that big.
I dropped $1,000 on a remote control helicopter years ago. Very first flight I took. Went up,
crashed it?
flipped over, and came down at about 100 miles an hour and fucking blew into pieces. One flight. Have you ever tried to fly one?
Remote control, they're tough.
They're hard as hell, man.
We got one as a promotion.
I don't think I could because you have to. Like the regular airplanes, I cannot fly them, man. The regular airplane, it's not like a drone where you just stop and it hovers.
No.
The regular airplanes, I had one that did like I was up there and I couldn't bring, it was stupid. You should take lessons, is what you should do.
Did you wreck it?
Yeah. But with a
We
helicopter,
wrecked ours in the shop because we fired it up. We weren't going to go all the way up. We were just going to cruise around the shop.
Wait, is that just the thing that came out?
yeah, but you have to know.
Talk Station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So Mike called, and he said, I have a daughter with narcolepsy, and we had a drug that works. We only have a temporary supply, 90 days. It's running out or ran out, $7,000 a month. It actually works. They've been turned down the first time, then they appealed and got turned down a second time. Is that right, Mike?
That's correct.
So where are you now?
We're going to appeal again, but in the process of doing so, I just thought I would reach out to you guys and just see if there was something I was missing.
How many times can you appeal stuff like this is my question. I'm going to talk to John Jones.
And is it possible to have drugs that simply aren't covered, right? It is possible.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to John with Integra Insurance. He's our health insurance expert and broker. And John, first and foremost, I imagine there are drugs that are just not approved, and there's nothing you can do about it, right?
That is correct.
And what are the reasons usually they are not approved?
Probably the cost. And they'll have, like a formulary drug list, which is approved, and a non-formulary drug list, which is outside of what the insurance company covers.
And that's just the way it is. It's contractual.
That is correct.
Okay, now, it has nothing to do with the FDA approval. Even if they're both FDA approved, one could be approved and one could be not approved by the insurance.
That is correct.
Okay, so in this case, Mike, the sad fact is there just may not be insurance to cover it.
Yeah, I know from her physician that she has other patients that insurance does cover this drug for. And the drug is specifically for her form of narcolepsy, which is idiopathic hypersomnia. What I understand is just a very difficult process to navigate in order to get that approval because of the drug cost.
Now, what I want to know is the other ones that have this insurance coverage. Is it your insurance or is it a different one?
I don't know. I would have to have my daughter get that from her physician. I just know that it's a common treatment. It's just unfortunate that it's expensive. And
What's the prognosis? What's the prognosis for your daughter?
It's good. If she can get into a normal sleep cycle so she can function, then it shouldn't affect her longevity or anything else. But, otherwise, it's a living hell for her. Because,
now, with this
she
drug,
never gets enough sleep.
Can her sleep be interrupted in an emergency if she needs to get up?
Yes and no. You're not allowed to take this drug if you live alone. So she's with her boyfriend of 7 years, and if he's not spending the night with her, then she can't take the drug. Because early on, when you take your dose or your second dose, the first or second dose, if like a fire alarm went off, you would need someone's assistance to get out of the building.
Okay.
Hey, Mike. Find out from her physician if any of the patients that are approved for the drug have United Healthcare, because then it will be a slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. It's just, my daughter is very frustrated by this.
John, go ahead.
I didn't know what my resources might be.
John, go ahead.
And Tom, one thing, with United, I'm not sure exactly how many appeals he can make. I'm not sure. He'll have to look at his evidence of coverage there. I do know, and what Doc said with our younger son, when he got turned initially down for his immunotherapy, we had to appeal it 3 times, and we got the doctors involved. So I think what Doc said is a great way to start. And Kachina is going to email me over the gentleman's name, and we're going to do some research. And then if he doesn't mind, we'll be back in touch with him on Monday to see if we can come up with some other solutions for him also.
Okay.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Integra, which is can be reached for health insurance needs and questions. 303-466-5500. Stan, what's happening?
Yes, this is Stan. And the reason I'm calling, my wife and I are elderly, and we signed a contract on 3rd of July 2022 with a contractor.
And now, when did wait? When did you sign it?
The original contract, 3 July 2022, to complete a basement.
In March of 2022. Got it.
No, in July the 3rd of 2022.
Okay, July. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was Top Tier Remodeling when their representative, Chris Torres. And there was a building permit issued on 31 August of 2022. And the job was supposed to take about, first it said Halloween, next Thanksgiving, next Christmas, and then it dragged on. Okay, the permit expired in February of 22.
No, 23.
23. Okay, as time went on, the contractor became less responsive, couldn't get a hold of them, and they wouldn't answer the phone. And come to find out, they didn't have a license, bonded, or insured. And
all right, so Top Tier Remodeling, basically, did they ever finish?
No, they drug out and changed contractors several times. The work was substandard. The work was substandard, and we paid in advance for all these services.
How much? Hold on. How much did you pay so far total to Top Tier?
To Top Tier and his subcontractor, approximately $135,000.
What was the project supposed to cost?
$92,000.
Okay. Now, when you say you paid Top Tier and the subcontractors, what I don't understand is this. You paid Top Tier. Why did you pay separately to subcontractors? Wasn't it all one contract?
Okay, we had that contract with Top Tier, and then they, after we got started, they said that we gave it his other business there. I don't have a contract with Streamline. That was the one that we paid him for cabinets, $17,700.
Okay, but Stan, here's what I don't understand. Why did you have contracts with two different companies?
I didn't. I had a contract with Top Tier.
Then why did you pay other companies?
Chris said that with Top Tier said that they had to get somebody else to do the rock work, breaking up the concrete to put in the drains for the bathrooms, and also for a change of water heater.
So right now is the job you paid $132,000 so far.
$135,000.
All right. So hold on. So how far is the job from being complete?
Well, we still have to put in the doors are not.
Right. No. I don't want you to go piecemeal by piecemeal. What I want to know is how much will it cost to finish the job the right way, the way it was supposed to be done the first time. I don't mean adding to it or making it different, but to complete the original contract, how much will it cost?
With another contract, I'd say approximately $40,000-$50,000. I can't be exact because they've got to.
Have you had an expert come in and analyze the work?
We've had two contractors come over and look at the work, and it's terrible.
Okay, so does a lot of it have to be redone?
Yes.
How much of the work did you actually get value? What value did you get?
Most of the drywall, the
In other words, when you say it might take 50 grand to finish, is that to finish including redoing the bad stuff?
I think so. I think that was.
Who gave you that? Who gave you those estimates?
2 different contractors I called out here to look at it.
And what does Top Tier say about that?
Well, Top Tier, they in approximately October they come out here and they said, "Well, we got to have another contractor. We won't finish the job. We won't."
Yeah,
do
but
more
do
work."
they acknowledge that they're already over budget?
Well, they never say anything about being over budget. They just said that they had to. We had to cough it up to get the thing for like the water heater. We wouldn't have worked. We have to do that.
Stan,
yes.
I'm asking you this: the entire job was supposed to cost 90-something thousand. What does Top Tier say about you paying $135,000 and they still want more? What do they say about the discrepancy?
Well, they don't say anything about it. They just say that's just what it costs.
Well, what did your original contract? Was it a guarantee for 90-something thousand, or did it say it could change?
It didn't say it didn't say it was guaranteed. That was a proposal. And the thing about it is, we couldn't find. They couldn't find a signed proposal. We couldn't either, because when we signed, Chris Torres, their representative, said when we.
And what was these? What were they supposed to do? The basement?
Yes.
And that's it.
Basement with 2 bathrooms. Yeah.
Okay. And the price and the cost was going to be the proposal, which you can't find, was for 90,000.
92,000. We have the proposal, but
it's not signed.
Not signed.
All right. You know, here's the. You're not. You need to get rid of these people.
Okay. The reason they walked out on us in October.
Well, it's good because they weren't doing a job anyway. They suck. Who is the person you were dealing with at Top Tier?
Chris Torres.
Chris Torres.
Yeah.
Is that Torrez or Torres?
Yes.
Torres. Chris Torres.
Yes.
All right. Do you have a number for Chris Torres?
Just a moment here.
Well, I don't want you on the air. I just want to know if you have a number.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know, when was the last time you talked to him?
The 28th of December.
Now, why are you calling us? Why are you calling us today?
Because I was hoping we were trying to locate a lawyer and a contractor to finish the job.
Finding a contractor won't be that difficult, but I'm going to tell you something, Stan. You're wasting your time with a lawyer. It's only going to cost you more money. This guy probably doesn't have a pot to piss in.
What's the name of the company?
Top Tier Remodeling, and Chris Torres is their representative. He's formed a bunch of new companies.
I know, but what I'm saying, Stan, is it may be a waste of time, money, and energy to go after him.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not telling you you shouldn't go after a bad guy. You should report him. I mean, but it sounds to me like he's a total clown.
Okay.
You understand, if you get an attorney on this, just for the hell of it, what do you think it would cost to sue this guy minimum? What do you think?
I don't have any idea.
I'm going to tell you exactly, because I've been in more lawsuits than you ever want to know. Do you know what it will cost you? $50,000.
Okay.
Now, you can take that same $50,000 and hire a contractor to finish it.
Okay, let me ask you another thing. And Top Tier, as far as I know, they didn't have a license. At the time, they didn't have a license.
Right.
insurance,
Right.
bond.
Right.
Okay. Now, supposedly they have it now. Let me ask you this.
Well, I'm waiting for the question, Stan. Go ahead.
Okay. It says in this proposal, which we don't have a sign, they don't have a sign, and we don't either, that we got to give them 30 days notice before we terminate. But see, we already paid them all this money, and we don't owe them anything. And it says that we have to.
Stan.
Yes.
Stan, listen. They walked off the job and haven't been back. Is that right?
Yeah.
If it was me, I would write them a letter saying, because you abandoned the job and you walked off and you went $40,000 over budget, I am hereby firing you.
Okay.
And I'm going to come after you for damages. That's what I would say. And then I would move on to another company. Stan, this is just messy, and the more you stir it, the more it's going to stink, and I wouldn't waste my time. And if you need a good contractor, go to referralist.com and find someone who can look at this and finish it for you.
Hi, this is Scott Trout.
He can get any of his money back?
Well, you know, I mean, he has to get a judgment and go to court. And what is he going to get? That's the
I
problem.
don't know, $40,000.
But he's not.
He
If
doesn't
he
have a
gets a
signed
fucking
contract.
judgment, the guy goes bankrupt.
I'm just, Tom, I'm just asking.
I'm just talking because I'm frustrated with this piece of shit. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
I got to do this spot real quick. What are you doing? Would you just happen to drop by? Hey, you know, RKC Automotive is part of our car family, and we're so happy to have them because they're good, they're honest, they're efficient, they have great value, and they're conveniently located on West Evans. RKC Automotive. You can find them at Facebook, RKC Automotive. They can do young, new cars, old cars, foreign and domestic, big repairs, small repairs, and they give complimentary inspections of your entire car every time you come in, so they can keep on top of all of the problems. 25 years strong. They want lifelong customers. 2120 West Evans. That's Evans just west of Tejon. 720-749-3965. 720-749-3965.
Do you know Miles login for Progressive?
Hey, man, what do you guys do? Just stop by for nothing?
I guess.
No, they're cutting commercials.
Ask him. He's smirking back there. I'm not sure he's planning something.
Did you guys already cut the commercials?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Where are they? Who's got them?
Why?
Because I got to get them over. I got to get them to traffic.
I think we're gonna forward them to you.
Like I need them now. Yeah, light up whoever.
Here's his username and password. Username is the bold, password is under.
Did we not just pay his or no?
I thought it was paid.
Okay, maybe it was a reminder.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe it's going to be paid.
Jesus Christ, I'm so tired of hearing that shit.
I don't. You'll have to log in and look. I don't.
Mark, the bold is the username. You're typing in the password in the username. The bold.
Oh, I got you.
So this trial of Trump was purely civil, right? No,
Yes.
no criminal convictions. So it's just like a business deal that went bad.
Right. The only thing is the DA was bragging about she was going to go after Trump if she gets elected.
Right, right.
So, I mean, she planned on it even before she had any facts.
Harper has the commercials. As soon as he sends them over, he'll forward them.
guys just on a trip?
Kind of.
Oh yeah? Somewhere fun?
Oh man, where were we? Vegas.
Oh, I love Vegas. What are you doing there?
We
Work
had a
stuff?
conference, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty good.
See that cool sphere and that thing the best?
It had SpongeBob on it.
That is so awesome.
It looked like the sun. It woke us up.
Yeah. Oh, you're close to it. We're in the Venetian or what?
I forget what it was called.
Paris, Venetian. Those are what you can usually see it.
Can't remember. Yeah, the sphere.
Sphere.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's crazy.
Someone climbed it. Did you see that?
And screwed it up too.
Oh really? I didn't hear
Did
that.
a couple $100,000 damage to it.
Oh wow, on the LEDs?
They didn't specify, but yeah, they weren't happy.
Oh yeah.
It was just so bright. It was like crazy. We looked up and we're like, oh my god, there it is. Like a planet.
Oh wow.
The inside's really cool too.
Did you guys go in there?
Yeah, we went to a show there.
Oh, you
Not
did?
a concert. More of an experience.
They had YouTube playing when we were there, but we didn't get tickets.
I guess the Daddy company are going to be doing the residency.
That makes sense.
Do you think all going to make sense or something?
Yeah, I don't know how much we paid last time compared to now. It's just
Okay, let me look.
funky as a motherfucker.
From the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 K-How, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com will do a free market valuation of your home. All you have to do is call him. He is the best. There's no one who sells more, faster, and for more money. He is up there above the market average. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. So, Stan, listen, Stan, you need to find a good contractor on the referral list to finish this job up.
Which referral list?
It's called referrallist.com, and we can help you off the air. Find it. Referrallist.com. That's my personal list that I started many, many, many years ago before any of the others were even there. Okay. And you need to find a contractor that would be willing to come out and look at it. If you can't find one there, if they're too busy, then you need to find someone maybe they know or someone who you can trust. And then you need to forget about going after this guy. The first thing you need to do, the very first thing, is to get this done as far as the job. Get it done. And then look at, I would turn this guy in for no licensing. I would put as many complaints and reviews as I could online. I would do it with the local authorities and all of that. Everything free you can do, I would complain. I would go on Yelp. I would go on Google. I would go everywhere I could to let people know about him. And, that's all you can do is let people know about him.
Okay, let me ask you this. After we get it done and everything, you don't think it's, or do you think it's worthwhile to sue him for breach of contract?
Sure, go ahead.
Storage?
Sure, if you have $50,000, go ahead, sure. And then you get a judgment, And then you're going to have to get a judgment. You don't get attorney's fees, so you get a judgment for whatever your losses are. Let's say your losses are 30 or 40,000. Then you lost another 10 grand. So I mean, it's whatever you want to do. I'm saying, Stan, being right doesn't matter in lawsuits anymore. Being right doesn't matter. What matters is coming out ahead. I don't like telling you this. It will cost you $50,000 minimum to sue this guy and get him in court. Now, if he goes bankrupt, you might only have 10 or 15,000 spent before he goes bankrupt. If he doesn't go bankrupt and you spend the whole 50 going after him, he'll probably go bankrupt after you get the judgment against him. You don't understand, Stan. It's not whether you're right or wrong. You're right. The guy had no license. He had no bond. He had nothing. He also breached the contract. Why will you sue him? To get money, right? Well, guess what? When it costs you more money to go after him than you'll get, and all he has to do is go bankrupt and not pay you, what good is it?
Okay.
For the record, you're right, Stan. If you could get an attorney to take it on contingency, which I do not think you will, but if you could find one, more power to you. But there are no people that will take a case like this on contingency because they're going to look at top tier remodeling and say the guy is a clown and he doesn't have any way in hell of paying. That's why you only deal with good people.
Okay, so what I need to do is notify him that he's through.
Well, if I were you, if it was me, I would say, look, you abandoned the job. You went over budget by 40 grand. I don't want you back here. But I don't even think you have to do that. That's just, you might want to talk to an attorney about that, Stan, because the guy abandoned the job. When was the last time he notified you?
28th December 2023.
And what did he say to you?
He said, I'm not coming back.
Okay, well then he canceled the contract, didn't he?
Yeah.
What is their phone number?
Just a second.
I mean, you've been totally screwed, Stan.
Yeah, I realize that.
It's too bad. How did you find this clown?
Well, we found him on the internet, and okay, the phone number is 720-588-8840, and Chris Torres, and that's top.
It's right here, top tier home remodeling on the internet. I thought maybe they changed their number.
Okay, and then there's the guy that was doing all project manager, which he changed 2 or 3 times, was Chris Torres.
Now, who's the owner of the company?
Sean Simmons.
Sean Simmons.
And Tracy Phillips.
And Tracy Phillips. All right.
Okay, Torres' number is 720-594-0173.
Well, listen, I wish you the best, Stan. There's not much we can do for you, bro.
This is Denver's talk station.
His old declaration compared to his new, and hoping that makes sense for you. I thought it was due to that. Remember that at fault in the parking spot that he had coming back from Vegas that last year or in 2022? Well, I thought that came up new, but that was on his old policy too.
Did it double?
Yeah, it's doubled all right.
That's impossible.
So I'm sending you the 2 deck pages for you to look at.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, Jay.
What are you doing here?
Check your email. I've got both of them sitting there for you.
Both of what? Me?
Unless you're paying our kids' motor insurance.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Love to do that.
his
Just came in to cause some trouble, Jay?
I sent trouble in first. I came to see if he caused any trouble.
The only other thing I can think of is he was enrolled in a snapshot program on the first one, but the second one,
Hold on, so the snapshot plugs into your OBD2 port, and it tracks.
I got to do this. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies is a retirement planning center, just as the name implies. And what does that mean? It means that they help you prepare for retirement. The earlier, the better. Yeah, if you're in your 30s or 40s and you have enough sense to do that, it would be great. They can teach you how to build a nest egg to retire on. If you're older, you have less time, they can help you there too. What I like is their philosophy about perpetuating your resources through retirement so you don't run out. They do that by putting some of it in a bucket of safety, some of it in a bucket of income, and some of it in a bucket of growth. And they help you through investing and income planning and long-term planning and long-term health care and also other means, legacy, estate planning. They help you in every aspect. And they want you to have a comfortable retirement and can get you a pretty good percentage of your income if you follow their directions. Why don't you contact them for a free consultation? rpcenter.com. rpcenter.com. And the number is 970-663-3211. Hey, as part of your retirement or just starting out, it doesn't matter. You may want to change homes. You might want to sell and buy another one, bigger or smaller, or maybe you just want to change neighborhoods. Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do a free analysis for you, a detailed analysis. It's not a drive-by. And he'll analyze what you can sell your house for, what you'll make on that house, and what you can buy with the money. It's all free. Give him a call, 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
you don't think it's because that thing's unplugged? It says you need to.
I have never in my life seen anything double without an accident or a speeding ticket. Never.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Why don't you take over? You can cause trouble
Let's
for the
do it,
next
Jay.
20 minutes.
Yeah, then it might take that into account.
Mark,
What are you
whatever
talking
came,
about?
you said you talked to the adjuster on that check.
Always in a rush.
Suze?
Yeah,
no
he
show
said
Monday,
he
right?
signed it, but
No
you
show
still
Monday.
had
Okay.
What's
we
new,
got to
brother?
sleep in.
You got your pizza, you're good to
the
go.
bank or the mortgage company had to endorse it as well as.
See you next week.
the
Have a
customer.
good week.
Oh, no shit. So there were 3 on the check.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, if you ever want to do some while you're at the studio, we can cut some there too. Like the 3 of us or the 2 of us, the brains.
Let's do we want to do a video.
We can do that too.
Just like, not right this second.
Like an interview video?
Like,
No, Tom, we got this software going where you can put your address into our website and it gives you an instant online quote.
So we can do whatever you want, promo videos, stuff like that, good stuff.
so it's just like a, what do you think, 5-second video?
30 second.
30-second
The
video?
5-second, you won't do anything. 30 seconds, you can tell the world.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between. Whatever you want.
Yeah, it is weird. It would
I can even shoot it for you. I mean, I have people that can shoot it for you.
The next break?
I couldn't find anything.
We'll just try. We'll go with somebody else.
What's that?
Microphone?
Oh.
We don't have them anymore, do we?
The whole concept is you go on the website and you type in your address and it pops up with your own house with like a map of it and it like locates the whole roofing system and it shows you square footage and everything.
Yeah.
And then
It's like ZachMate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, except it's a lot.
It's a step
It's
higher.
quicker and simpler.
It's really cool. And
How do I do it?
So
do you want people to do
I'm not sure if it's live this
Yeah.
second.
Oh, well.
Sure.
If you go Monarch Roofing though.
Yeah.
On your website.
It
Yeah.
crashed this
Yeah.
morning. They've been
Cool.
fixing
Don't you think?
Why not?
So if
Let's get 'em under-
would
You'll
that make
apply
it easier
your
for you,
pricing
Kevin, if
to
they
it,
could put
right?
in, if they said, I need a new
And
alternator?
hold on.
Yeah.
You're going to apply your pricing to it.
Yes. Uh-huh. Sure. You know what? People want that information when they're doing their homework.
Yeah.
They
You have all the exclaim.
And you want them to come to your site to get it.
Yeah,
And then if you go to
exactly.
North
So they
Carolina,
put in their name and address.
Oh,
And then it pops up one
I
more
can't
screen
put my
that
own
says,
address in.
tell me your name,
Here, I'll give you an address.
email, phone number, and address, and then we'll give you the info.
Yep.
No, we.
Well, I just wanted to see.
I would like to post something like that. That would bring a lot of.
When are you guys going to have it live on
curiosity.
yours?
Like I said, it crashed this morning, so that was our
Oh.
issue. It's just it draws a lot of RAM or something. So we're
Goddamn,
having
I hope it's live by
concise.
Monday because we're running the commercials on Monday.
Yeah, I hope so.
Crash it again. Yeah.
No rush.
We're getting the kinks ironed out.
No pressure.
Did you guys send me those?
I'm waiting for Harper to send them. As soon as he
Okay.
sends them, we'll get them.
Afternoons 4 to 6.
Friday at 4, some Democrats in the legislature want to make it a crime for you to use your cell phone while driving. And should it be a felony to text and drive? Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino. If you're looking for weight loss, remember DenverRegen.com is doing compounded semaglutide for $250 a month. DenverRegen.com. And that includes doctors, consultations, and all of the compounded drug and supplies. DenverRegen.com. It's unheard of. It's unbelievable. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. It's car day. We've had a few car questions with Kevin Calkin from Sheridan Auto Tech, and Jay Bretz is here now. Jay, I heard about this thing, and I've been fascinated with it. I probably bore people talking about it so much, but smog-eating roof. Have you heard of it?
Absolutely. It's a concrete tile, and what happens is...
some of it's asphalt.
There's asphalt also. Concrete tile are the ones that have been popular for a long time. They've been popular in California. They have some calcium carbonate, something like that, in the material of the tile, and it actually absorbs...
When sun hits it?
It absorbs the smog out of the air.
Which is the carbon monoxide, is it? Or the car stuff? What's that, monoxide? Right?
Yeah, different nitrogens.
And all that. Yep. And then it turns it into a harmless gas of nitrogen. And when it rains, it sheds onto your soil, and it's good for your soil.
That's right. It's
Can
the
you believe
craziest
that?
thing. You know, I've heard about it in California for the last 10 years or more, and I thought, we're never going to see this stuff in Colorado.
Now, they have asphalt now, and the granules do that.
Yep.
So now the granules are eating smog, and not only that, but there's a certain amount of air infiltration on your roof, and or through your roof somehow into your house, through vents and stuff, and it purifies that air, so the air in your house is improved from it. To me, and apparently it's not more expensive than regular roof.
3M is the one that makes all of the granules for all of the different manufacturers, and they're the ones that have come up with this technology.
Right, 3M, right.
Yeah, so I'm sure that 3M is charging the manufacturers more for those specific granules. I mean, it just makes sense. They can, so they would. But I have not seen the increase in the shingle price for those, but we're seeing increases in shingle prices every 3 months.
Just in general.
Just in
Supply
general,
and demand.
Yeah, the price of roofing is...
So I want to know something. Is this something that people will get because it's better for the environment? Because it doesn't do anything better for the house. It's a roof.
It doesn't. And I think that there's two things that consumers are way more interested in. And the number one being some kind of hail resistant or hail proof roof.
Yeah. Well, in Colorado, you sure as hell are.
Yeah. That's the really important thing. The second thing that's really been around forever, we just haven't paid a lot of attention to it, is the solar reflectivity. So that means that the roof just doesn't absorb as much heat. The more heat that roof absorbs, then the hotter the house gets, and it's going to make your AC bills higher. But if you just put that white roof on your house, it's going to reflect the sun away from it, and that reduces what we call the heat island effect of the city.
And in general, color is the number one factor for absorption of heat.
Absolutely. And so the government has an Energy Star rating for these kind of shingles, where it reflects the heat back. But in Colorado, I think that those are way bigger issues.
But white roofs are ugly. So do they have alternatives?
White roofs are ugly, and it's really ugly when we put these big, huge black panels up on the roof. But I think it's some kind of
solar systems, right?
Some kind of status symbol if you have that giant solar array.
So the solar systems, the solar arrays, of course, for solar systems. Then you have the roofing, which can eat smog, and you have roofing that can reflect the sun. What else in roofing are they going for?
We also have The integrated shingles. Tesla is the one that everybody has heard of.
For the solar.
That it's solar. The shingles, the roofing material, themselves,
all of it will be solar.
It's a photovoltaic that converts that sunlight into energy.
So when you install that, do you literally have to install and plug each row into each other?
You do. So there's different manufacturers of different types. Tesla is going to be the most popular, or the most well-known, but they're one of the most difficult to get, and they're also one of the most expensive.
Are they out now? Are people using them now?
There are. There's one on Bellevue that I see when I drive
All right.
along.
Would you be able to replace panels? Does it produce as much electricity as panels?
It does. So that's the
So if you-
efficiency.
and
rating.
also, you actually probably better because you don't have any gaps in it. With panels, you have gaps.
It's more uniform looking, so I would say in that sense it's better. The entire roof itself creates electricity, but the downside is it's so expensive. That roof might be 10 times more expensive.
Oh my God!
So if you're looking, if a regular person
you would
has a
get
$20,000
the
roof,
tax credit.
you would 30%. So let's say a 30% credit on a $200,000 roof. That'd be 60 grand. That's going to take a lot of people a long time in order to recover 60 grand in taxes.
I know.
Now, Mark would probably recover it just very quickly.
No, you know what though? If you get these is it an asphalt type shingle? What does it look like?
So there's different manufacturers that make them.
What does it look like?
So it looks black, just like the solar panels themselves. And
Does it look like a roof, or does it look like you have panels down?
It looks like you have a patch of black shingles in the middle of your other shingles.
So you don't use all of them. You just do the middle.
That's correct. There's a manufacturer, CertainTeed, that is making the photovoltaic
Okay, so it's
shingles.
not just like an ordinary roof. When you look at your roof, you can see the parts that are solarized.
You can. And this technology has been around for a while. Dow Powerhouse Shingles, they were popular about 12 years ago, and we were one of the only authorized installers in Colorado. So, I mean, we've been doing solar.
Are they
way
a pain
back
in
when.
the ass?
The Dow ones were very expensive. They were twice as expensive with half the efficiency.
I mean, labor-wise, are they a pain in the ass?
No. It's like a lot of the new and different products that we use. It requires a certain amount of training, for sure some management out there to make sure that everything is being done correct. But these new shingles we're talking about, it's basically plug and play.
That's cool.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half.
Some usual slowdowns throughout the Denver metro for the early afternoon hours. I-25 northbound, we're seeing speeds in the 30s and 40s between Broadway and Colfax. Southbound I-25 busy between I-70 and Spear. Just north of there, I-70 westbound looks like your normal slowdowns between Colorado Boulevard and York. Further east to DIA, I-70 eastbound drivers are going to start seeing some congestion between Havana and Pena Boulevard. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, snow earlier today, a preview of things to come. We're expecting scattered snow showers into the night with a high of 39 this afternoon, overnight low of 18. The current temperature in Denver is 33 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
You know, some people have started to change from siding to stucco, especially since they're getting an insurance check sometimes for hail damage. Genesis Total Exteriors is doing a lot of that conversion. They can take your siding and they can do an upgrade to stucco if that's what you want. They also, of course, can do any part of your storm damage, and they can do it on one invoice, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And they also do office space. If you have tenant finish to do on office space, they can handle that as well. Genesis, for all your construction needs, give them a call, 303-679-8509. If part of your need is countertop, don't call them. Call the Art of Granite. The Art of Granite will do any kind of countertop, of course, including granite, as the name implies. They'll do natural stone, or they will do any man-made substance, and they'll give you a quote on the phone right now. They tear out and haul away free and do the bathroom free when you have the kitchen done, or a free kitchen sink. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919, TheArtOfGranite.com. In retirement, you have one thing you really are concerned about, and that's income. You don't want to run out. There are things called fixed indexed annuities that guarantee you won't run out. The more you put in, the more you get out. But something even better than that, there are guarantees that the money you put in, you will never lose. Not even the gain you make on that, you will never lose. And you're guaranteed a certain return. If you like this stability, give them a call at becomethebanker.org, 303-779-6600, 303-779-6600. Okay. So.
All the YouTubers are asking how the solar shingles hold up with hail.
They get broken.
So the
No. Just
No, but that's more fun. I'll talk over the commercial.
The GAF ones are class 3. They're not class 4 yet.
GAF solar shingles are class 3, which means they are supposed to be hail resistant, according to Underwriters Laboratory, up to I believe it's a 1-inch steel ball dropped from 20 feet. Is that really a real world hail impact? Not really. They do other tests where they fire these balls of ice out of a cannon, and that's really more of a real world test. But I mean, pick your poison. You can have lower utility bills and get that tax credit and put those solar panels up, or just you could get one of these rubber roofs or something like that that'll be completely hail resistant. There's really just nothing that's going to be absolutely resistant to all the hail out there.
Tommy, you look like you were sweating it for a second.
I was wondering if we snuck on the air, so I looked over at him.
We got our own show going.
Wow, he sounds pretty good. Oh wow, how did he do that?
How's your brother, Duke? Right? Is that his name? Duke?
I don't know. What's he going by?
We're live on air.
He's. I'm sorry, I asked. I'll drop that.
No, he is doing great.
Is he?
He is. Yeah.
What grade is he in?
He is a junior?
Yeah.
He's a junior. Man. He's only had one car accident so far.
No, 2.
Stop it.
Hey.
Leave it to the siblings.
Straight A's?
Okay.
We are hoping for straight A's.
I'll trade you.
I know you want to. I know you want to do the 18.
No, I'll take him.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
I'll keep Vonnie.
Throwing a Vonnie, I might consider the deal.
No, with him and Vonnie, with him and Vonnie, I'll just take over the world. You can have Duke and Dolce.
Oh, Lois will be so happy about this deal. I'll say, honey, we've got the daughter you've always wanted.
Our kids are all born within months of each other, and they all have the same personalities in pairs.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah, Miles was from like 16 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we were in the middle of that.
They come out of it, you know.
Well, we hope so.
God,
I'm having a feeling that this gap year is going to turn into a gap life.
Can they hear you, Tom?
Can
they hear you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Tom,
having a daughter,
we have a position available at our office.
Having a daughter is like having a friend.
I've seen this meme before.
Wait, having a daughter is having a little friend, a little poor friend who thinks you're rich.
Rich and generous.
Or having a daughter is like having a perpetual party that you're not.
Use your cell phone while driving, and should it be a felony to text and drive? Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I have a prediction, and it's not a prediction, it's happening, but I have an observation. Homes are going to be, all homes are going to be made with solar someday on the roof. They're going to have solar windows. They're going to have solar siding. They're going to harness every single bit of the sun we can.
You know what we've been waiting for on this, Tom?
Don't you think?
Is the efficiency level. And 25% has been the magic number. And we're real close, if not there, with a number of systems.
And pricing, you see, pricing on technology is so ridiculously low for what we get. When will that happen in other areas? When the popularity is there. The reason technology is so reasonably priced is because of the demand.
That's right.
Up till now, we haven't had a lot of people
What
clamoring.
do you mean by that? When an iPhone's $1,200,
Well,
they probably cost $100 to make.
Because that iPhone, by all practical standards, would have been a $20 million computer, taking up 4 floors of a building, and it's incredibly cheap. If you look at the technology in the TVs, Mark, I mean, God, do you remember when we were paying $300 and $400 for color TVs at Monkey Ward's and Sears 20 years ago? And now, I mean, what you get for the price, we all have to agree that technology has brought the price down when it's in demand, right? I think things are relatively expensive. Yeah, I mean, a phone is, but look what you get for that price. What I'm saying is that I don't think we've had the clamoring for energy efficient goods. We haven't had the clamoring for recycling. We haven't had the clamoring for energy production like we do now. And I think more and more people, call them whatever you want, but that's what they're going for. And the more they want it, the more that people will produce it cheaper.
That's right. I had this discussion with my dad one time, and I said, Dad, why were houses in the 70s just not insulated well? And he gave me this
Nobody
answer
cared.
that I wasn't expecting at all. He said energy was cheaper than insulation.
That's right.
And so whatever
That's exactly
was the most economically or viable
And you
product.
don't have people looking to make things cheaper and better when you don't have the audience clamoring for it.
That's
I
right.
mean, or the customer
And
base.
the government incentives, 30% tax credit, that's a game changer.
All right. So anyway, thank you very much. We are rounding up this Car Friday. SheridanAutotech.com. Don't forget 303-455-7242 and call 303 Martino for help. Remember 303-627-8466.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis. If you're hurt in a wreck, you need a check. There's only one choice. That's my friends over at Lerner & Rowe.
I'm Glenn Lerner. When you want more money, you need the experience of one of America's largest injury firms.
I'm Kevin Rowe. And with over 400 legal professionals, there's almost nothing we haven't seen in the last 30 plus years.
Make one call, that's all, to Lerner & Rowe.
And let us turn your wreck into a check.
Lerner & Rowe, those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
Multi-state offices, Zachary Balkin, managing Colorado attorney.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here for you. The dedicated team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care for substance use and mental health disorders. We believe recovery is possible. The Raleigh House can help. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House. 720-797-8717.
It's a roller coaster of emotion.
I'm not too happy with you today.
I'm not happy. I'm very sad.
And through all of the love and pain,
I am just utterly and truly flummoxed.
anger and frustration,
There's nothing like the truth, but sometimes the truth hurts.
this ride never stops.
Being compliant
It's just ridiculous.
under the government's thumb.
And it makes us so angry.
And the conversation continues
I listen to you every day.
on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen